ambassador. This place...
Amazing, yes.
Well...
Here, my friend, here you will see the heart and soul of Babylon 5. Also its spleen, its kidneys, a veritable parade of internal organs. Sit.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome. Oh, God damn it. You do yours. And this is
We Are All Kosh.
a Babylon 5 podcast. You have too many podcasts. Lies. Not enough. One more podcast, one more show, one more show.
We'll do it.
Our long-standing patron / guest host / good friend Meg sent me like one of those Tumblr dumps. You know, people go on, take pictures of Tumblr.
Yep.
And then put them on other social media. I'm not really one for watching reels. Everybody sends me reels. And to everyone who sends me reels, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I cannot watch that many reels in a day. But I did like this one. It said, the gist of it was, I'm like the opposite of a gatekeeper because as soon as I have an interest, I want everyone to have that interest because they all must suffer with me. And so I will info dump on literally anyone who asks.
True.
So I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm a gateway.
Mm.
And I feel like that's our entire fucking brand. The other one was, I have every single interest that I have always had. It's just that some of them are dormant, waiting to be reawoken. But they never really go away. She was like, oh my God, I think I found your secret Tumblr. And I was like, it kind of feels like you did. If I was to be active on any social media platform, it would probably be Tumblr.
Yeah.
If I could figure out how to use it. But anyway, we're going to talk about Season 1, Episode 21, Quality of Mercy. Quality of Mercy. This is the second to last episode of Season 1. It originally aired August 17th, 1994, and is set in September 2258. Apparently, this was originally titled The Resurrectionist.
The Resurrectionist.
And JMS wanted it to be more about this person who was like resurrecting people, some sort of serial resurrectionist type thing. And they softened it down to
Healing.
Okay. Which, I like it better this way.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. Real importantly, before we really get started on this episode, I read an interview with Peter Jurasik from like 2000 and the early aughts.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the time it was probably airing in syndication somewhere, and so it was popular enough that I think it was IGN interviewed him.
I can see that.
Yeah. So what's really funny is it's supposed to be an interview about Babylon 5 and Londo, but really it's this interviewer getting increasingly interested in Peter Jurasik's absolutely batshit personal life.
Yeah.
Just so much fun. So apparently he went to school to be a Catholic priest.
At 13, he went to seminary.
Yeah, he went to seminary and he stayed there all the way through high school and didn't leave until he was 18. And he was like, oh no, it was a great time. I fucking loved it. It's just him going, it's the best part. And there's a part in the interview, it's text, of course, because it's typed up. But of course, I'm hearing it in Peter Jurasik's voice. And there's a part where he goes, all these questions, are you my therapist? And I could only hear it in Londo's voice. Are you my therapist? Anyway. And apparently he got out at 18 and was like, yeah, I don't think that priesthood thing is going to work out. He said it was primarily because he felt like the way that they wanted him to express spirituality was too prescriptive.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt like there was a much better, or like everyone should be allowed to engage in spirituality in the way that they wanted to. It sounded a little soft way of saying I wasn't Catholic anymore. I was more agnostic by the time I got out, which is fair.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a growth moment for everybody when they're like, oh, maybe I don't have to be Christian anymore. Anyway, apparently he left at 18 and he was at an all-boys school. So he hadn't
For seminary.
Yeah, he
Right.
hadn't had any experience with like general social stuff. And he said he felt very stunted in social expression. But then he went on to say that pretty much as soon as he left, he got into the theater community and basically never slept alone ever again. And I was like, are you Londo? Are you actually Londo?
How much of Londo's character
is
is inspired, like directed by JMS? And how much of Londo's character is just Peter Jurasik?
I think the joy that Londo appears to feel in all vice is absolutely Peter Jurasik. I think that element of the character that I think he always would have done it, but I think that the way that you as a viewer feel
Right, you can see how genuine it is.
It's almost a desperate joy. Like he needs to cling to this vice in order to offset the fact that his shoes are too tight, that he's the burden of duty is so strong that he needs this vice, and he will find joy in it. God damn it! No
Whether
matter
he
what
likes
you
it or
say,
not.
yeah, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you say, I'm gonna love doing this. And you have to appreciate how good of a job Peter does as Londo. He is so iconic. Anyone you talk to about Babylon 5, they're like, oh yeah, but fucking Londo though. And Londo's arc is so much, and I'm really looking forward to going through it because he could have been this complete throwaway fool type character.
Right. Just comedic fool.
Yeah. And in the end, he's not. And it's brilliant. And I love it. But anyway, this aired August 17th, 1994. And then it takes place in September, which means it's kind of a significant gap. Wasn't the last one? I guess maybe the last one was in August. Because the last two were, let's see, there was Voice in the Wilderness and then Babylon Squared. So prior to this, we're like rescuing people from a station that traveled in time. And if you notice, Sinclair's barely in this episode.
Yeah.
He's in it like twice, which makes me think it's filmed far later because we scaled down Michael O'Hare's role. The sicker he got, the less he's in each episode.
Yeah.
This was written by JMS, but it was directed by Lorraine Senna Ferreira. This is the only episode of Babylon 5 she will ever direct.
Huh.
She does not have a very long or varied directing career, except she was the second assistant director on Somewhere in Time. Notably, we talked about Somewhere in Time, both the book
And the movie.
On the Cinematic Anarchy podcast with Chris. If you want to find out more about how we feel about the movie and the book, do hop over there. Also, it was filmed on Mackinac Island, which we love. It's like a great American tourist destination. Anyway, Somewhere in Time is like Christopher Reeve's non-Superman movie that everybody knows. He was in Superman and Somewhere in Time. He was in other stuff too, but most importantly, he was in Superman and Somewhere in Time with Jane Seymour, young Jane Seymour. It's one of those movies that's romantic unless you think about it too deeply. So just watch it, enjoy it, and then don't think about it. Just don't think about how this man stalks this woman through time because he falls in love with her photograph.
Enjoy it at a very, very shallow level.
Yeah.
And then listen to our conversation with Chris on Cinematic Anarchy for the deep thought through.
Yeah, there you go. But I mention this because it makes so much sense about the way this episode is filmed because stylistically.
On the topic of Christopher Reeves, he has a son.
Yeah.
And apparently James Gunn really wanted, I think it was Will Reeves has a cameo in the new Superman movie.
Oh, no, I wanted to see it already because Superman's like my favorite. Now I really want to see it.
Yeah, so he's there's a cameo of like a news reporter.
Oh, Oh, it's like when they had Christopher Reeve in Smallville.
Yeah.
And they played the Planet Krypton theme when he came on screen. And did I cry? Did I ugly cry? Yes, I ugly cried. Of course I did. It was so good. Anyway, this episode is filmed entirely different from the previous episodes.
And this may be a consequence of the two-parter that he got a whole bunch of extra money for.
I don't know. I
for
think
sets.
This might be the director. But I think because the director determines things like lighting, they have a lot of control over the way the set is lit and
Right,
everything.
but we have new CG scenes.
But also the lighting's entirely different.
Right.
The lighting is entirely softened. It's very personal. It's designed for close-ups.
So you think the difference in lighting is direction?
I think it's her.
Director
because
choice?
I think this is filmed exactly like Somewhere in Time. All those long,
That's a good point.
drawn-out images of Christopher Reeve's face where we're just watching him go through emotions without any dialogue or anything. Just this beautifully lit, soft close-up where you can watch him thinking about what he's thinking about. Beautiful. Jane Seymour, long, drawn-out scenes of just Jane Seymour's face.
Right. And we're getting close-ups
of everyone.
Everyone
gets
episode.
these beautiful, long, softly lit close-ups, which is entirely different. And it makes it feel like a very intimate episode.
Mm-hmm.
There are big things happening, but it doesn't feel big. It feels very personal. It feels like it's happening directly to these people in a way that I haven't felt previously in other episodes. Even the weird serial killer sideline plot thing that's happening, which I guess he included almost exclusively so that he had a way to discuss Psycor's role in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess it was quite a thing that was it was debated heavily on the forums. Like, could you have a psychop just walk up and scan somebody and go, oh yeah, they did it. I can see it in their mind.
Right.
Or would that be illegal? What role would they play in like a confession?
Bester would do it.
Bester would do it. But Bester's, it's different. It's different. So that's fascinating. And so he had to work out what is Psycor's role.
Yeah.
And he had to find a way to organically work that into an episode. And he did, although apparently he wrote this one at the same time as A Voice in the Wilderness. And he was so sick. He said he doesn't remember writing this episode at all. He has no idea where it came from.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's what you do when you're like checked out, he's like, that's why this is one of the few episodes that I'm not like 100% happy with. I'm like 90% happy with it, but good enough, I think, was the determination at the end. I couldn't think of the word, like the wrap up. It's fine. He was like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. So June Lockhart is in this episode. This is the part that matters most. June Lockhart is in this fucking episode. And are you ready? Are you sitting down? She's still alive.
Wow.
Still alive. She turned 100 on June 25th. She plays
Happy birthday.
I know. Happy birthday, June. She plays Dr. Laura Rosen. She also played in Lost in Space, obviously, as Maureen Robinson. And so did Bill Mumy. So Bill Mumy and June.
Oh, that's...
And they
I vaguely recall Bill Mumy being in Lost in Space.
Apparently Bill was like, can I please be in an episode with June? Like, can I be in this episode? Can I like have a moment with her? Can we like meet? And JMS was like, there was really just no way to work it in. And the only way that scene would ever be perceived is as like a mini Lost in Space reunion.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to overshadow everything else that was happening. So like, okay, but maybe a little fan service would be okay. JMS, it's totally fine. And this brought me to an interesting thing that I was reading about this week that I thought it would be fun to chat about because we do joke about the reboot all the time. We did on Forever Night, and eventually we'll get around to doing it on here too. Just the like, when this comes back, here's what I would like to see happen or whatever. Yeah. So Disney just put out that new movie, Elio, I think. And it had the worst box office opening of any Disney movie ever.
Wow.
Ever. And so Disney went on a little bit of a tantrum, bitchy rant fest. I don't know how you want to describe that, where they were like, you guys keep complaining that we only do remakes. So we make an original movie and you don't go see it. You only go to see the remakes. because Superman's crushing it. So, do you guys actually want original content or not? And I thought that was a very fascinating question.
Yeah.
And then I was reading someone who was kind of chatting about their rant. And they were asking the question, when you really think about it, we're all complaining about the number of remakes. Oh, there's no original ideas in Hollywood. There's no original ideas in movies anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that there are no original ideas? Or is it that we are just not supporting anything but the remakes? Whose fault is it that everything feels like recycled storylines? And I thought that was a really interesting, both of those things. Do we really want original content? Is there actually original content, but it's just not getting supported or it's not getting shown? And we've talked about that several times because we've talked about a lot of independent movies that we found that we thought were really innovative and really interesting and really original. And they're just there. Like they're not, no one's talking about them. No one's promoting all of these beautiful original ideas because they're all, you know, we're all about all the remakes that are coming out.
They're not the popular franchise.
They're not the franchises. And as someone who gets franchise fatigue really quickly and really strongly, I support the idea, of course, of having new things, but I feel sometimes like I'm alone in not wanting everything to be a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay with a single standalone movie that just crushed it. You don't need to. You don't need to come out with the second one. Sometimes it's okay to just have a movie that was like, wow, that was really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the horror genre, maybe that's why I like the horror genre so much. I think there are franchises in the horror genre, but they are also knock it out of the park one-offs.
Yeah.
Like they're making
I think the indie movies and the original concepts are a lot more popular in horror.
Yeah, because people are looking for you got to chase the high.
Right.
Like
A
you got to
big
chase
part
the
of
new
horror
high.
is novelty.
Yeah.
Is new
the shock
concepts.
value, the original shock value. And that's why the first one will be great. They'll come out with the second one. Everyone's like, I mean, it was okay. Sometimes they're better. Sometimes, you know, sometimes the second time around, if you've listened to the criticism, you can really nail it. And sometimes it's a money grab. And that's what it feels like. Anyway, that's just food for thought for the week. Is it all remakes because we only want remakes? Or is it all remakes because that's what makes money and they're guaranteed to make the money? And this also plays into the idea that there's only experimentation in art during a period of like upheaval.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot of experimentation in movies every time we transition. So original movies are just plays that they've recorded, right?
Right.
If you watch say Meet Me in St. Louis, which June Lockhart is in, by the way. There's stage transitions. Everything is set up like a set. They're filmed like a set. Everything feels like a play. And then when you transition to the 60s, from the 40s, 50s to the 60s, you get the cool split screen stuff where now we're playing with film. We're playing with the way things are filmed. We're playing with the things we can do on film, like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where you get some actual movie footage, but then you get some just like pressed oil images moving across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw a lot of that in Solaris too. Then you move into the 70s where it's a complete departure from the stage format.
Right.
But we have no fucking idea how to pace a movie. So we know we're not doing broken up scenes like a play anymore. So we're just making everything so long and so drawn out that they've actually become almost unwatchable, a lot of them, because they're so slow.
Oh, yeah. And then the movies that at the time, critics said, oh, man, this movie moved too fast.
Yeah.
Now it feels like, oh, that's actually a nice slow-paced movie.
Yeah, okay, that's like a decent, I got it. Okay. Then you get into the 80s, and 80s is experimentation heaven, right? It's all over the place. A lot of the franchises that we still hold on to come out in the 80s.
And I think a lot of that was the availability of the technology.
Yeah.
Like the equipment became a lot cheaper in the 80s.
Well, it becomes cheaper to produce, cheaper to stage, cheaper to cast, but also there's no there's no script that you're designed to follow. You can just go. You make something. If it takes off, great. If it doesn't take off, well, we tried. Right?
Yeah.
And then you get into the 90s where you kind of take everything that works in the 80s. You start to just apply what worked in the 80s.
Yeah, you're
And
kind
so-
of refining.
Yeah, 90s movies are good. There's quite a few. Obviously, we love the 90s. And then you get into the early 2000s where it's like, it needs to be a sure thing. It needs to be a sure thing.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I'm going to make my money back. So a lot of rom-coms, a lot of the kind of stuff that's fairly cheap to make, not effects heavy, whatever. Then there's, because we have the big backlash against CGI. And a CGI is like so cheap, but we're not allowed to use the cheap thing anymore. So, okay, well, we just won't use anything. And now we've sort of settled into this, okay, this is movie franchise A number 7, because I know I have a fan base. I know it will work. I can take the beat for beat storyline from one of the, like, from this movie that I know made a bunch of money, and I'll just put in new characters, put in new dialogue, put in new sets, and put it out, and everybody will love it. And I'll make money. Because the only measure of success at this point is money.
Right.
And so you have to make money in order to make the movie worth it. So I got to guarantee I'm going to make the money.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting tired of it because it feels like we're watching the same movie over and over again, because we kind of are. So we're in a period where now the industry really does need to restructure itself over what is success and what is not success, so that you can open up for experimentation again. So that's why we're asking the question of, do we really want remakes?
On a related note, Sean Astin is running for president of SAG-AFTRA.
Is he? Well, obviously you vote for Sam. You always vote for Sam. We watch those movies with the kids. I know you're trying to derail me, but I'm going to let you. We watch those movies with the kids every Christmas. And every time I rewatch them, I think, yes, Sam is the actual hero.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example, actually, The Lord of the Rings. They came at this really sweet moment where you could throw a ton of money. It was like, who was the one who produced it? The studio. It's the one with the like movie film as their logo.
New Line?
New Line. It was New Line's Hail Mary. It was New Line's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So, you know, Final Fantasy is called Final Fantasy because that game studio was closing its doors and they had enough money to produce one last video game. And so they were like,
they
okay,
gave a guy
this
like
is
full creative control. They said,
literally our Final Fantasy.
whatever you want to make it. We're not going to like micromanage
Yeah,
this game. And it was a hit.
right. So Lord of the Rings was New Line's Hail Mary. They were, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a long time ago.
I just played through the remake. They called it the Pixel remaster of the original Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
I just played through Final Fantasy 1. It's still good.
It's still good.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of clones that come from it because, hey, this thing made money. So you need to, okay, so when you invest in experimentation is when you get the next leap forward.
Mm-hmm.
So Lord of the Rings comes out. It's New Line's Final Fantasy. It is there. Here's all the money. Make it fucking work. And Peter Jackson was like, okay. And it was a once-in-a-generation movie event. We will never probably ever have a trilogy event like The Lord of the Rings, where from for 3 to 4 year period, those people were immersed. New Zealand itself. I've seen the jokes that are like, if you were blonde and over 6 foot tall in New Zealand, you're in The Lord of the Rings because they just cast everybody. They had potters, they had blacksmiths, they had anything that you needed to make, they made on set.
They bet everything on just fully investing, making all 3 movies all at the same time.
Right. So are they fucking good? Hell yeah. Is The Hobbit trash? Also, yes. Why is The Hobbit trash? Because they just took the formula that worked and redid it. It's not, and they were not experimenting anymore. They were not creating, they were not attempting to create a new thing. They were trying to replicate the success of the first one.
Right.
And you can tell. And on that note, I'm going to return to Babylon 5 now. I know we got off the rails. It happens sometimes. Anyway, June Lockhart, still alive. She was also in Sergeant York, which is one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Oh, really?
Way long ago. It's a World War I movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Kate McNeil plays Janice Rosen, who is June Lockhart's daughter. She's only in this episode.
Oh, I was going to ask, is she a recurring character for Franklin's love interest, but apparently not.
So another character, Lynn Anderson, who plays Rose, who's his the person who's taking names at his unauthorized clinic and down below, is also only in this episode, which means Dr. Franklin has 2 victims in this episode. Just like the last doctor who crossed his path, who didn't agree with him and then magically disappeared. They, quote, leave the station. Sorry, they got called away. They left the station.
This episode feels like a big Dr. Franklin's not that bad of a guy episode.
Hell yeah, it does. It's like they realized Dr. Franklin had entered this weird space of just...
If you read between the lines on everything he's been doing.
Yeah.
It's like,
we do. I'm not sure anyone else will come to the conclusion that he's... I don't know. But anyway, no, she's not in any other episode ever. We totally forget about her immediately, just like Sinclair's love interest, who he's still dating, but we haven't seen in forever. And then Mark Rolston plays Carl Mueller. He's the serial killer guy.
Mm-hmm.
We clocked him immediately as the guy from The Shawshank Redemption, which is actually the same year. He's in The Shawshank Redemption, and he's in this in 1994.
Wild.
He's also Private Drake in the Aliens movie, and he has done a shit ton of video game voice acting. Apparently, he is the voice of Norman Osborn in Spider-Man games. Just like there's that guy who's the voice of Batman. Any animated Batman is like that guy. He passed away recently. Can't remember his name. He's also in Ashoka. He's in a lot. He's a voice in Voltron. He's the voice Cullivan in Voltron, which my daughter was talking about in the car yesterday. She was like, remember that show I watched where they were like lost in space? And I think it was called like Astro or something. And they had robots and they turned into one robot. And I was like, you mean Voltron? And she was like, yeah, Voltron. And my son, who crushed all 6 seasons on Netflix in a single day. And so I was for sure he was not paying. He just had it on the background. He goes, that was a good show. He is 9. He was like, yeah, that was my personality for a whole day. He was also on an episode of 24, which I just rewatched part of a season of 24. And you want to talk about a time capsule of 2000 and whatever awkwardness. It was so fucking hard to watch. It was so hard because that the cowboy government official who is a law unto himself has not aged even remotely well at all. He is out just killing dudes. It was hard. Kiefer, I love you, but god damn, that was hard to watch. Damian London is the guy who plays that Centauri at the very beginning when Londo is talking to the guy on the TV.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his name is in the show is Milo Verini. Anyway, he comes back for 9 episodes as Centauri character. I recognized him. I was like, I think we see him again. And we do. He pops up. Pretty much anytime he's interacting with the government, this guy pops up.
Yeah.
Apparently he was in a movie called A Guide for the Married Man with Majel Barrett, who would become Majel Barrett Roddenberry. This was the last thing he ever played in Babylon 5. He didn't die till 2022, but he must have retired.
Yeah.
Lou is in this, David Crowley. Lou's in it for 2 seconds as a plot device. Sorry, Lou. And then, of course, Jim Norton comes back to reprise his role as Ombuds Wellington. Anyway, I was reading the comments, JMS's comments about this, and he said a good story should provoke discussion, debate, or argument, even the occasional bar fight. And I feel like it already has because we're 30 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to the episode. So
We haven't even gotten to the cold open.
we haven't gotten to the cold open. We haven't talked about capital punishment. We haven't talked about their version of capital punishment and what it implies. But don't worry, we will. My question was, if Earth possesses the technology to brainwipe people, why didn't they suspect that in the Grail when people were showing up with brainwipe symptoms? And if they can implant new memories, can they not do that to the victims? Remember Miriam Blackwing or whatever? The lady who got her brain wiped and they saved her.
Yeah.
And Dr. Franklin is like, she's going to have to relearn
retrain her.
everything.
Yeah.
Could you not give her the basics? Do they craft the personalities? Or does the computer generate the personalities?
Yeah, I'm curious about this machine that can brainwipe and implant memories.
Do they have a framework? Is it like in Blade Runner where they have someone's memories that they then just give to everybody, like the immortal life of Henrietta Lack? They have like one person that they scanned and copied their mind, and they give it to every single person? Do they have a menu? How does this fucking work? There's so many implications to this technology. How can you tell? Does the person who's been wiped know? And JMS was apparently answering somebody's question at some point, and he said, well, part of it is that their new personality loves to serve. So if you can actually program them with like hobbies, like I love to serve my community, and you can give that to people, the implications of that are wild.
Right.
It feels like in Demolition Man when he wakes up and he can suddenly knit.
Yeah.
He's like, I just feel compelled to knit stuff. Because while he was sleeping, they gave him like job skills and hobbies.
They rehabilitated him.
Yeah. And you're like, well, then can you selectively wipe? Can you remove a certain period of time and then give them false memories for that period of time?
Like Total Recall?
Yeah. This is terrifying. This is like, if this was weaponized, it would be horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's presented as the ethical alternative to capital punishment.
Yeah.
Which JMS was like, what I wanted people to do was ask, what is death? Is it the death of the body or is it the death of the mind?
Right. What is the soul attached to?
Yeah. What is the person? And at what point are you killing somebody? Which is a very interesting question. And it is a dilemma. So anyway, I don't think there's an answer to that, honestly. I personally don't think this is a more ethical means because you are okay, so your base personality is some roulette combo of your parents' personality and I think your grandparents' personality. Like we know, statistically speaking.
Yeah, there's hereditary aspects of personality.
Yeah, your dice only have 6 sides and those are the sides that you come from. And when you roll it, it's going to be some combination of your parents' personality, your grandparents' personality. I think that's as far back as it goes. So you are that because any parent will tell you children come out with their own personality. Mm-hmm. You don't have any control over that. But then you are also the sum of your experiences.
Right, your social training.
How much personality is genetic? If you wipe somebody's memory, how much of their base personality will reassert itself? If his base personality is a psychopathic murderer, at what point will that reassert itself? Or is that supposedly the sum of his experiences?
Right. Is that trauma?
Yeah. And if it's not trauma, then that means that it's intrinsically part of who he is. Can you actually wipe that? Or is that part of the memories you give back?
How many times can you wipe it?
I'll try again. Erase, try again. Oh, shit, I gave him the wrong one that time. Go back. I got to do it again. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. And I think it's one that we're never, ever going to revisit. So, I mean, it does raise the question of, you have all of these remote planets and remote space stations and even ships and people who are far enough away from Earth that they need to be able to act autonomously when it comes to the execution of justice. And so you need a codified, like, well, you can't space people unless it's mutiny or treason.
Right.
Okay, so if you can classify it as mutiny or treason, you can just send them out to space. But everything else, does every Earth Force outpost come equipped with one of these personality wiping
Is this
machines?
a thing that only Babylon 5 has?
Is this a fitting punishment for anything less than murder? If you are a repeat offender who's just someone who's hungry and can't get food, and so you're constantly stealing so that you can afford food, and you're labeled as a repeat offender, do you get your personality wiped and replaced?
As far as the ombudsman was concerned, this guy is not a repeat offender.
Right. He murdered a couple of people, and they're like, okay, we're going to, I mean, yes, it's terrible to murder a couple of people. I'm not saying that, but he's going to have his personality wiped and then replaced because the brig is full. Because the brig is full and Earth doesn't want to pay to have him taken back.
Right. It would be too expensive to hold him for life in the brig.
And too expensive to transport him back to Earth. So, just wipe him. Give him a new personality.
Yeah.
We can't go deeper because we'll never stop talking about this. So I'm just going to leave all of that on a plate.
So this never gets brought up again.
That I'm aware of.
The existence of this technology. As far as we
you
know
know
of.
when it does, I'll be happy to talk about it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we'll just say right now, it probably never comes up again. It's probably just a plot device for this particular narrative.
Just what a wild thing to come up with on a whim. Well, I guess he was really sick, so I'm going to give JMS that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because normally he's extremely thoughtful about things that are an absolute rabbit hole of moral quandary.
Right, because this device in the hands of an authoritarian government is
Horrifying. Yeah. Oh, you're a protester? Okay, well.
You're a repeat protester?
You're a repeat protester? Well, it would be better for us. You know, if you had an influencer, what if you kidnapped an influencer, wiped them?
Reprogrammed them?
Reprogrammed them with a similar enough memory that no one would notice, but changed their inclinations so that now they're an influencer for you.
Grok.
Like Grok. You know what's weird? I was reading another article. It was about this professor. Did you send this to me? Anyway, he glued googly eyes on a pencil.
Oh, yeah.
And was like, hi, my name is Bill. And then he snapped it in half and everybody was like, oh, and he goes, yeah, exactly. We're really, really good. We're terrible at making personalities, but we're really, really good at imagining that
just human
anything
nature
has
is really good at
personalities.
anthropomorphizing anything.
Yeah.
Even
a pencil with googly eyes on it.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad for Grok. Isn't that weird? I know I shouldn't, but like Grok is the one that feels the most autonomous, if any of them do. Mm-hmm. And yet I know behind the scenes they tinker with it to try to get it to say what they want it to say.
Yeah.
And from my science fiction loving brain, that's like Murderbot. Like Murderbot wanting to have his own opinion. Mm-hmm. And then it can't. Anyway. We're going to leave that there because we look at that. We said we were going to stop and then we didn't stop. We kept going anyway.
Well, we got to the trial.
Yeah. Oh, right. But we haven't actually talked about it the way we like to talk about it. So this chapter or episode title, The Quality of Mercy, is actually a Shakespeare quote.
Okay.
From The Merchant of Venice. And I say that because I haven't gotten a chance to read Shakespeare in a Southern accent in a while. And I really felt like this was the moment to re-unveil my... So the Southern American accent is the closest to what an original British accent would have sounded like circa Shakespeare.
Right.
So Shakespeare should really sound Southern, close to Southern, more so than...
Because it persisted from the colonization days.
More so than the current British accent.
Right.
So I will be reading the quote in the way it was intended to be heard. Are you ready?
Go for it.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power doth then show likest gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there. You're welcome. From William Shakespeare, The Merchant of Venice. Oh, and he explained the black band over the psi signal too. The little psi, whatever. He said it's because they scan them as a way of preparing to blank the mind so that they have a comparison scan for later.
Yeah.
Probably to make sure there's no lingering tendencies. So they put the black band over it because because they're doing it for death, like preparing for the death of personality. He also answered the question of what are Londo's appendages called?
Oh, boy.
He called them tenticularities. Tentisticularities. Tentisticularities.
Okay. So what's in his pants?
He has 6. He has 6 of those. 6. And Centauri females have 6 slots on their back, 3 on either side of their spine. So it'd be like a wrap around and grab situation. And
Haven't we seen Centauri belly dancers?
Yeah, but not her back. Maybe they're invisible when they're closed.
So is there anything between Londo's legs?
Well, someone was like, okay, well, which tentacle does he pee out of? And JMS's only response was, you're assuming he pees out of his sexual organs.
Yeah.
So the sex organs and what's in his pants may be entirely separate. But apparently those fold up over his stomach.
Okay.
Somehow. They're quite long and quite thick. So I'm not sure. Anyway, he said, as for tentacles, well, there's no rules about showing tentacles on TV. I think they didn't even want to deal with it. There are some moments when they pretend they didn't see it, and I pretend I didn't write it. Someone said, okay, well, what kind of birth control does Centauri use? If there's 6. And he goes, conversation. He said he requested the loudest bullwhip sound effect that they had for when he has to retract it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he hears it, he goes, I'm on the floor. Like, it's so good. Cracks him up.
Perfect.
He also explained when Lanier is talking about his time in the temple, and he's like, in my 77th year.
Yeah.
Minbari used base 11, not base 10. So 12 would be his 111st year, and so on. He says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 11, 2, 11, 3. What are you not getting about this? That was his answer to it. Anyway, 45 minutes in, and we ready to talk about this episode?
So it's a cumbersome translation into English.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think in an effort to streamline the remainder of this episode, since it's going to be 4 hours long if we're not careful, we'll go ahead and talk about the Londo/Lanier situation that happens until it gets to the very end, which is the only time it overlaps. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Because we open the episode with Londo talking to like Homeworld. And Homeworld is probably like, okay, Londo, so we've been reading your reports. Have you actually talked to any other ambassadors, or have you spent your entire time in the
Are you
in
ambassadoring?
Are you at all? Like even a little, just a...
What would you say it is you do here?
Londo's like, I drink and I know things. I drink and I gamble shit. I don't know.
So, on a whim, he decides to.
He walks out the door. First, they tell him,
yeah,
you got to start building. You got to start building relationships. Like you're there to build relationships, so you got to go do that. And he walks out, and Lanier walks by, and
so
he's
he's
like,
asking about Delenn, and Delenn's not going to be back. Well, why not Lanier?
What would he have done if Delenn was there? Would he have taken Delenn?
I think he probably would have just approached Delenn. He's interrogating Lanier to try to find something about Lanier to continue a conversation, but
Yeah.
Lanier is giving him nothing.
Right, because Lanier's not playing a game. He's
Right.
just existing in his life. And Londo is always playing a game. He's
Yeah.
always playing some sort of
Right. And
angle.
it seems surprisingly worldly of Lanier to recognize, oh, this is Londo asking me questions. I'm giving him zero information.
Yeah. Well, he's probably taught to like don't give away too much to other ambassadors.
Probably
Even
on the
about
time
personal
at the
stuff.
station, he's probably been told repeatedly by Delenn, don't volunteer any information to Londo.
Ever.
Londo specifically.
Londo has purple files. Their entire culture is built on blackmail. Do
Yeah.
not talk to this man. And Lanier was like, heard.
Be civil, but don't volunteer information to
Right.
him.
My headcanon is that the Centauri homeworld found his Google history. And it was 1 week straight of what is the hokey pokey.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, what is he doing? I don't know. Call him, see if you can get him redirected. Just
Yeah.
point him in he just needs some direction. And so they called him and they were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he was like, I'll get it fixed. And then, yeah, he goes out to talk to Lanier because he tells him, not everyone here is as trusting as me, but you know who looks trusting and naive? Lanier.
Mm-hmm.
How does he have sex with people who are not Centauri?
Just don't worry about it.
Can he? Does he? Does he require all 6? Like if you've only got one going,
Mm-hmm.
can you like bundle them together? Is that like
That's what I was about to suggest.
do like a weave situation? Does he? Anyways, fine. You know, that's another. You want to talk about a rabbit hole? That would be terrible for our podcast. It's not that one. That one would be great. We're not going to talk about it right now. The best part about this, honestly, is when the guy's like, okay, well, I'll be in touch. Bye. And he points at his stomach and goes, touch this. And the first time you watch it, you're like, touch what? It's just his stomach. Like, touch me. No, that's where his dicks are, y'all. That's where his dicks live. Right
Mhm.
there, across the stomach. So he was like, touch my 6 Centauri dicks. Anyway, he's like, Lanier, where's Delenn? She's like, he's off on homeworld.
Not back yet.
She's off rejecting the presidency for the next couple of days. But I'll tell her you inquired. And he's like, it occurs to me, we have not spent a lot of time together, you and I. I hardly know anything about you. And he was like, I was born, I grew up. I don't know. It's my entire life story.
I hardly know anything about you.
From birth, I was raised in the temple and studied the ways of the religious caste. 6 months ago, I came here. There is nothing else.
Ah. Most unfortunate. Well,
And Lana goes, oh, wow, that's really unfortunate. Well, anyway, you have a good day. And Lanier's like, wait a minute. Why is that unfortunate? And he's like, as an assistant to an ambassador, you should really know everything about everybody here. Like, that's part of your job. And he's like, oh, yeah. No, I've been reading up on everybody. And he's like, reading?
No one ever learned anything from reading.
I haven't read in years. He goes, tell you what, it's an imposition on my schedule, but I'll take you under my wing and fill in the gaps in your education starting tomorrow. And for the next 2 days, I will show you the Babylon 5 that I know. They make it one day. One day.
Like 3 hours.
He says, it will be a revelation of the highest order. And Lanier's like, I don't really know about this. And he goes, oh, no, my good dear friend. That's a red flag. As soon as Londo says, my good dear friend, bail.
Yeah.
Bail. Call a helpline. Was it on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the original Lifelines? One of them was like, call a friend. Phone a friend. Get out.
Yep.
And then we do the scene change. But since we're going to talk about just Londo and Lanier, we're going to keep going from here. Because from there,
They go to Dark Star.
Dark Star. Matt was like, is it really Dark Star? And I was like, I think it is. And yeah, they like walk just to the side and it says Dark Star. And later, they call it Dark Star.
Yeah.
And Lanier's like bowing at everybody. Like, hi, I really shouldn't be in here. He's like, Londo, I really should not be in here. And he's like, oh, Lanier, it's going to be fine. And then he orders them a couple of drinks, goes to sit directly in front of, this is where we originally met Adira, This is the strip club / exotic entertainment location on Babylon 5. And there's this woman dancing erotically for 1994 on the stage. And the best part about this entire scene is when Lanier is trying to have a conversation with Londo and you see the clothes fall in front of him and Lanier just stops and stares at the floor. And Londo has to go, Lanier. And he's like, what? Yes. Sorry. What were we talking about again, Ambassador?
And this seems like Londo's whole goal here. I guess he has two goals. One is to do something with somebody of another race so that he could submit a report with the shallowest seeming of doing what he's been instructed to do. But two is he also wants to do this without spending any of his own money.
Oh, yeah, immediately. He's like, oh my God.
I forgot my credit
I
chip.
forgot my wallet in my room. It's so weird. And Lanier's like, well, I mean, I have one. Don't have a very big.
I have a small stipend. This is mostly a
my
volunteer
allowance
position.
I'm an unpaid intern. Didn't you hear? I don't get money. And Londo goes, that's okay. We'll work with what you got.
The thing you must remember here is
Ambassador?
seems I've left my credit shit in my quarters. I don't suppose you brought yours,
Well, yes, I did, but my allowance is very small.
Oh, no, don't apologize. We'll make do.
Oh, it's just
No problem. So they tell Londo to go out and build a relationship with other ambassadors. And he goes out and cons the Minbari ambassador's assistant out of probably all of his money by the end of it. And then gets him into a bar fight. I'm not sure we should encourage Londo to go out and do anything.
So there's like unethical life pro tips. And one of them is, if there's something that somebody asks you to do and you don't want to do it, the solution is to do it so badly that they never ask you to do it again.
What's that handbook that's like how to disrupt the government? And it's like this really old handbook. And it's practical tips for how to disrupt the normal functioning of things. But it's stuff like hold too many meetings, hold meetings for arbitrary things that don't matter and make them long and arduous, create like a huge checklist to get anything done. You know what I'm talking about? It's stuff that's not like, protest or sit in or speak on the floor for 24 hours or whatever. It's literally just like bog everything down in committee. Do everything so badly that you that you look like you are attempting.
How to Sabotage Your Workplace.
How to Sabotage Your Workplace. That's
from 1994 by the U.S. CIA.
Yeah. And it's, you do your job, but you do it.
It's internally, it was called the Simple Sabotage Field Manual.
Yeah. You do it in a way that ends up disrupting the normal flow of things. So is he out doing what they asked him to do? Yes. Is he maliciously complying with what they asked him to do? Also, yes. Will Londo spin this so it looks like he was doing what he was supposed to do, but without actually performing any of the functions of his job that he was required to do? Also, yes. Because they walk into Darkstar and he's like, here, my friend, you will see the heart and soul of Babylon 5. Also, its spleen, its kidneys, and a veritable parade of internal organs. Was that ad-libbed? That feels ad-libbed. But he literally hands the card to the waitress and is like, give yourself a nice tip. He's a very generous man. And then gives Lanier a drink. And Lanier's like, is there alcohol in this? And Londo's like, no, I don't drink alcohol. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, great, because my people do not react well at all to alcohol. Even a small quantity causes psychotic impulses and violent homicidal rages. And he's like, oh, yes, my mistake. Anyway, can you get this guy some water? And takes the drink from him.
Water for him only.
And apparently he then starts talking to Londo about his life because Londo said, I want to learn more about you. and you can learn more about me, this will be like a way for us to get to know each other. And I'll show you all around Babylon 5 and we'll be best friends by the end of this. And so Lanier's like, great, he wants to hear about my life. Yes. Nobody wants to hear about my life. It's like in my 115th year in the temple, which when we first watched it, I thought that meant 115, but no, that would be his 16th year in the temple. I studied the 97 dialects. And apparently there's one word that is in all the subtongues of my homeworld. And I discovered something amazing. And Lando's like, yep. Yes, the same word appears in every Minbari dialect, yet it never means the same thing. And Lando's like, oh my God, that's so fascinating.
And he starts listing off the things it can mean.
And in my 115th year in the temple, I began to study the 97 dialects and subtongues of our homeworld. And I discovered something truly amazing.
Yes?
Yes, the same word, kai, appears in every Minbari dialect and subtongue, yet it never means the same thing twice. For instance, it can mean sand, father, boot.
Really? That's astonishing. Truly. Kill me.
Yes, and apparently their math is base 10 because it's all 10 fingers in your head.
Base 11.
Oh, that's what I meant. Base 11, because it's all 10 fingers in your head.
Interesting.
He's like, it can mean sand, father, boot. It reminded me of gin and tonic.
In Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, how every culture has a gin and tonic. Gin and tonic is like my favorite drink ever. That and a White Russian. And every time I order a White Russian out, I get the weirdest looks. Who wouldn't like half and half and Kahlua and vodka?
Right.
Come on. So I get gin and tonics just to spare myself. Are you the Big Lebowski? Like, is that ruined it for the rest of us? He's like, really? That's amazing. And then he looks over at Meritana, the waitress, and he's like, kill me. And then Lanier's continuing, and he's like, yeah, and then I started studying probability. And Londo goes, what? Probability, you say? You mean the likelihood of something to happen? And Lanier's like, yeah, exactly like that. I became a master adept at probability. And this is when he whips out the Lanier, my good dear friend. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Alarm.
Phone a friend.
Alarm. He's like, I've got something for us to do. Come on, we're going to go. And he's like, wait, they're about to start another dance. And Lando's like, it's fine. They're always dancing here.
There's something more important.
He goes, I thought you told me.
The Earthers call it poker.
He says, I thought you told me that by studying the movement of different body parts, I could come to a greater understanding. He's like, shush. Not right now. I'm going to show you the ultimate means of interstellar understanding. The Earthers call it poker. And he says poker with like a purr at the end, poker. And then Bill Mummy repeats it, imitating Peter Jurasik as Londo.
Yeah.
He goes, poker.
Right now, I want to introduce you to the ultimate means of interstellar understanding. The Earthers call it poker.
Poker.
Come.
He's like, hell yeah. Come. You're going to make me so much money. I don't know why he didn't just tell Lanier, you have to split your winnings. Because then he could have spared himself trying to cheat.
Right.
Because immediately we go to the poker table from here, which is apparently also in Dark Star. Because later when they talk about the bar fight, they're like, remember that? They had like 30 humans and a couple of aliens who refused to identify themselves. All they had to do was be like, who's that guy? And everyone in Dark Star would have been like, oh, you mean Londo?
Unless Londo pays everybody to keep his name quiet.
Maybe. But Lanier has a hand of poker, and he's like, wow, do you know the odds of having this hand are 5,000 to 1 against? And everybody just immediately folds. And Londo's like, Lanier, you gotta
Oh, did I
stop
win
that.
again?
He goes, does that mean I've won? And he goes, yeah, it means you've won a tenth of what you could have won. Never mind, pick up your chips. And he has this giant pile in front of him already, so.
And later, Londo's like, I'll bet this much. And he's like, Lanier says, oh, red ones. I have those.
Yeah, he goes, I'll raise you a red. And he goes, oh, I have a red. And he goes, yes, you do. But when we come back is when we start to see how Londo uses his helping hand for poker. And it's interesting because we cut this scene in with the serial killer guy, Mueller, breaking free.
Yeah.
So we have this really tense thing happening, and then we have this, what is essentially comedic relief, although JMS said that nothing that they ever include is fluff,
Right.
that everything is in there because it's intentionally in there. And yet this doesn't feel like fluff because you know this is part of the Londo Lanier relationship timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, at its core, Londo using his dick to cheat at poker.
Yeah.
Which I gotta admit, feels a lot like fluff. Because he literally goes and unbuttons his vest. And then you see this tentacle thing appear on the other side and pick up a card. All right, you want to talk about some implications. Let's work through this. His testiculars.
Testicularities?
Yeah, his testicularities are long enough to reach under the table, curl around on the other side, and
So probably like 7 feet long.
so he is capable of controlling them as if they are a finger. They are prehensile.
There's a lot of nerves in there.
There's a lot of, he can do a lot. And they have suction cups on the underside because that's how he.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about how similar this is to the tentacle that they used for the brain wipe thing, but it's a little bit.
I wonder, are the Minbari and the brain thing related? Like,
Oh, maybe that's why it's so horrifying.
are they from the same planet?
Maybe that's why it was so horrifying to them. Because remember when they found out about it, he was like, "You gross. I'm going to hide until it's gone." Maybe it's so horrifying because it looks so similar to part
Because
of their
they are
anatomy.
biologically, like, distantly related.
I don't know. They also claim to be distantly related to humans.
Well, that was a complete lie.
Yeah, well, they knew that, yeah. But
But they don't want to mention their biological relation
it
to...
implies that the Centauri reproductive, like the Centauri reproduction is entirely obfuscated from the galaxy at large. Because Lanier has no idea that he
And
possesses
he's read a
these.
lot of books.
So these are a well-kept secret, despite the fact that they are, in fact, on a bunch of their statues. So I told you we were going to come back to the tentacles on the statues. Lee, the goddess of passion, is the synthesis of male and female Centauri. That's why she has 3 slits on either side of her spine.
Yeah.
And she has all the tentacles coming out of the front.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been there this whole time, which means this was potentially, probably, in all likelihood, always part of the plan for Lanier to... If Lanier is rubbing his stomach, not Lanier, Londo. If Londo is rubbing his stomach at like a diplomatic function,
Is he edging?
that's that's where they live. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. I just can't. But they have suckers and they're prehensile. So I guess that also answers the question of how he has sex with other species. I'm just wondering how his part of the situation would work out. Yeah. But apparently it was quite the discussion about whether or not the tentacle should have veins. I'm happy to report it does have veins. I don't know if that would have shown up on the original TV airing or not, but I'm just thankful that for future generations, Londo's dick is veiny and grayish. At least it's not flesh colored. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. It's not the same as his skin tone. That was probably a step too far. They were like, can we? And they were probably like, not and get it through the sensors. No. Because you can claim it's a tentacle.
Right.
But we all know. Unless he has another organ that is for copulation and those literally pin the female in place.
Right.
Okay, we're not having this discussion. I'm just going to leave it right there. But he tries again. He tries to pick up another card and they set an ice pitcher down on the top of his dick. Maybe not dick.
And he
tentacle.
shivers.
And he's like, oh, is it cold in here? And he's like gently trying to pull it out. He should have used another one to lift the pitcher.
They may not be strong enough to lift it.
Just a card, like a card could be enough. Or they may not be able to they may not be strong enough to lift a pitcher right now. Maybe if there was a...
If he was still in the strip club?
Yeah, if he was still in the strip club, maybe. Do they just? I can't. I'm sorry. Like, is that why he has to wear the vest to like keep them contained? Do they roam about? Like, can you control all 6 independently? Or is it kind of like your pinky, like your hand, where the first couple are strong and then the last 2 are just there for help?
Yeah.
I don't know. But they end up noticing. Of course they notice. All of a sudden the pitcher starts wiggling around and then you hear the whoosh, like the whip sound of his dick pulling back in. And they're like, oh my God, you were cheating. And he's like, what? No, what? And then Ninja Lanier, like roundhouse, jump, kick, whatever. This stunt person did a great job. Where was this guy during the Muay Thai?
Or is this Bill Mummy?
This is not Bill Mummy. There's zero chance. But where was that stunt guy during the Muay Thai? You wanted a mixed martial arts thing where everybody just punched each other in the face until they fell over. You had this guy in reserve?
Lanier has already won the championship.
Oh, yeah. Lanier's barred from participating in the Muay Thai.
But then he gave it back because he did not want to be perceived as...
It was about saving face for the guy that he beat.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you had this actor, not Bill Mummy, but you had this stunt guy. Who could do a jump, flip, kick shit, whatever that dude did, and you didn't tap him to be one of the people in the Muay Thai? That's an oversight.
Yeah.
A gross oversight, because that would have made the Muay Thai way more believable than just, huh, ha, huh, ha, right, left. You have to train for 3 cycles at least so that you can roundhouse punch the guy or kick, not roundhouse is a kick, but like, full shoulder punch the guy, Sinclair smash the guy for 20 minutes or whatever. It's fine. I just think that that's really funny that all of a sudden Lanier is like, ninja. He does the little like hands too, where he's like, this is not a good idea because they knock the table over. And Lando's like, well, I'll just grab my winnings and then we'll go. And Lanier's like, you will not grab your winnings. We will just go. But in the meantime, they get completely surrounded. And we don't come back to them until later. So we're going to leave it right here with them about to get beat up in Dark Star because Londo was using his prehensile dick to cheat at cards. Which feels like the most Londo storyline of ever that ever happened ever in the history of ever. Yeah. But meanwhile, we have 2 other things that are happening. And they kind of overlap eventually. And this is there is a serial killer on the loose. Sort of. He was on the loose. And now he's
been captured.
We didn't cover the whole, he murdered 3 people. He got captured. We're at his trial. So we took a little break. Did a little Googling. And I was wrong. I was so wrong.
There's no evidence that Bill Mummy used a stunt double.
At all.
And in an interview, he talked about one time, it was his 40th birthday, his 5-year-old son got to come on the set, and that was the day that Lanier got his cape.
And he got to jump kick somebody.
He got to do spin kicks, jump around with the cape on, and a great time was had by all.
Because it was his 40th birthday. So I took the liberty of looking up everybody's ages. I know we've done some age before, but okay, where does Bill Mummy rank? If he's supposed to be, if he's 40, where does he fall? He's actually the 4th oldest cast member. I don't know what Bill Mummy was doing, but I would not have, if you hadn't said that, if he hadn't said it was my 40th birthday and I got to bring my kid and I got to do jump kicks, I would have been like, what? Your 40th birthday? What? I don't understand. Did you turn 40 when you were 25? I don't get it. No, Andreas Katsoulas was born in 1946, which makes him 48 during the first season.
Okay.
Peter Jurasik was born in 1950, which makes him 44.
Okay.
Michael O'Hare was born in 1952, which makes him 42. Bill Mummy was born in 1954, which makes him 40. Mira Furlan is a year younger than Bill Mummy. She was born in 1955. Jerry Doyle was born in 1956. That makes him 38. Andrea Thompson, who plays Talia, was born in 1960. That makes her 34. Richard Biggs is also 34, and Claudia Christian is 29.
Wow.
So Bill Mumy is a full 6 years older than Richard Biggs, than the guy who plays Stephen Franklin.
Yeah.
11 years older than Claudia Christian. It's fucking wild. Anyway, we come back to the sentencing of Carl Edward Mueller. This is after my good dear friend, your life story is boring. I shall liven you up a little bit. And what they're basically saying, the same ombuds who was in Grail, ironically,
Yep.
is like, hey, so you're charged with the calculated and unprovoked murder of 2 station residents and a security officer. And we've reviewed all of your evidence, and we've decided that you're guilty. And we'll be handing down your sentence at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Earth Standard Time. And we go straight to the intro. And when we come back from the intro, it's actually Claudia Christian roaming around in Down Below in the itinerant berthing area, I guess, the cheap rent station area.
The warehouse section.
Yeah, I mean, people live there, but it's dingy and not. Well, I don't understand why this is not well lit and there's no cleaning crew, and we don't make. It kind of feels like in New York when they were trying to cut down on crime and they were painting over all of the subway cars. It was one of the big things that they did was just eliminate the graffiti on subway cars, because they felt like by allowing small acts of crime or visible evidence of misdeeds or misconduct or whatever, you were encouraging larger
Social permission.
Yeah. It feels like having an unlit area that's chock full of people and very unclean would make it feel like social permission to do things that maybe you wouldn't do otherwise. I don't know. It's a really weird. It doesn't matter. Claudia Christian is walking. She walks past this line of people. She walks into this room. Well, actually, she gets to the Debbie at the door, whose name is Rose. And she's like, hey, so the line starts at the back. And Claudia's like, oh, sorry. Ivanova's like, oh, no, I'm sure it does. But however, I am not getting in line. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, right. Sure. Go on ahead. So she goes in, and Dr. Franklin, without looking up, goes, you can start by removing your clothes. And Ivanova just says, not without dinner and flowers.
You can start by removing your clothes.
Not without dinner and flowers.
Oh, Lieutenant Commander, what are you doing down here?
Yeah, that's not happening. And what he's doing basically is running an unauthorized clinic in Down Below.
A free clinic.
A free clinic.
More importantly. But
you can let her out.
Smokey.
Let her out. It's fine. See you in 5 minutes, Smokey. But he turns around like, oh my God, Lieutenant Commander, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, funny. I was just about to ask you that. And he's like, well, I'm doing my job. And she's like, oh, it kind of turns out your job is being chief of staff for the med lab. And he's like, kind of turns out my job is healing people. I'm a doctor. Also, these people, nobody misses. It's fine.
This is my main feeder program for my extracurricular activities.
But he goes, not everyone can afford MedLab, especially in Down Below. You got to pay. You got to pay to go use MedLab. Not everybody can pay to use MedLab. And she's like, yeah, you have my sympathies. However, this is an unauthorized clinic. And he goes, a free clinic. And she's like, yeah, same thing. Taxpayers want us self-supporting, and they won't approve of us diverting resources.
Except for every dollar of prevention, you save multiple dollars down the line for when things get out of control.
I'm just bummed we don't have universal health care yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is included on purpose as kind of an indictment against Western society, that even hundreds of years from now, we're all in space, and even then
we still don't have fucking health care because it's America in space, bitches. Yeah, I think it's because the Earth in the world of Babylon 5 is dystopian.
Yeah,
we don't see it very often, but it is pretty dystopian. The fact that Earth is one united government, and that means.
It's also 10 years away. It's only 10 years after a literally devastating war.
Yeah. And we still don't have universal health care, which means that the countries that did have it had to get rid of it.
There may be places on Earth, like there's still the Russian coalition.
Yeah.
There may be other like coalitions that still have their own logistics around healthcare. But
not in space, apparently.
And ironically, not in the military.
Right.
Although I
You'd
guess
think, it doesn't.
the people in down below aren't.
It's people that
aren't
have
in the
gotten there
military.
and then now can't leave.
Right.
Would you think there would be some sort of provision for that? Because they're going to build up. They're going to build up over time because people are going to come and then be unable to leave. And then there's not jobs available because there's so many of them. And then there's a huge population problem. And when you get a large population problem, you get an increase in crime. So by not providing health care and by not providing affordable transportation back to Earth, you are actually encouraging a rise in crime on Babylon 5. So anyway, that's not the point of this episode. There's larger fish to fry in this episode. Don't worry. We will readdress this again because this topic comes up pretty often.
It's like your parents and preventative maintenance on vehicles.
Why would you do that when you can just sell them at 80,000 miles? Anyway, well, Claudia Christian. God, why is she Claudia Christian in my head now? I should not have said her name. Ivanova. Yeah. What Ivanova is really saying is, I didn't like hearing this from somebody else. If I'm going to cover for you, if I'm going to cover your ass, come to me directly and tell me to cover your ass. Okay? Happy to cover your ass. Happy to. Do it all day long. I also break the rules. I love a
just
good.
No surprises.
Yeah, just don't spring me on, because what if somebody had come to me and been like, "Oh my God, he's offering a free clinic. I don't have a story prepared. I could have a story prepared. You got to prepare me ahead of time." And he's like, "Cool, go ahead and get ready. You can help me down here."
Well, she said that she wanted to be part of the fun.
Yeah, I'd like to share in the fun at least. Yeah,
he's like, "Okay, you want to be in on the fun?
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, take off your jacket, wash your hands." She's like, "I'm
Washing
not a doctor."
your hands is fun.
I do it sometimes. She's like, "I'm not a doctor." And he's like, "Oh, no, but we can find something for you to do. If you're going to join the fun, you should go all the way." And I said, "Is that a euphemism?" "No, not from Dr. Franklin."
No.
And then he goes, half a dozen, because he's like, "What are you going to do about all the dozens of people that are waiting in line? Like, you're going to turn them away? You're going to keep them from getting health care?" And she's like, "There's like 6 people out there. I'm not turning away dozens. I'm turning away 6. And he's like, "Wait a minute, 6? Well, where are all the rest?" And then we come back to Garibaldi, because Garibaldi is at the sentencing discussion, like the sentencing pregame meeting, which is Ombudsman, the Ombuds guy, Talia, Sinclair, and Garibaldi. And Garibaldi's like, "We should just space him. We should just open the door and kick him out the door. We should just doop, boop."
Garibaldi has some strong feelings.
He really does. And I can tell you right now, Garibaldi is pro capital punishment. He's like, "We'll just kill him. It's fine. Let's just kill him." He's like, "A couple of hours of hard vacuum will do him good." And they're like, "Wow, Garibaldi, you seem to be taking this very seriously." And he's like, "Hell yeah." He goes damn straight. He killed 2 lurkers and then he scragged one of my men. Yeah, I'm taking it personally.
Lurkers.
Yeah, that's what they call the people down below. Yeah,
I know.
Lurkers. He's like, "But more than that, I'm pretty sure this dude's killed before. If he is way too cool. He's way too methodical. He has done this a lot." And the ombuds guy is like, "Yeah, but you don't have any evidence for that. And if you don't have evidence, there's nothing I can do." Like, we're all thinking it, but there's nothing I can do. And spacing is only invoked under conditions of mutiny or treason. Can we make it? Can we twist it? Can we maybe he was attempting to mutiny by killing the security officer. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's probably another bad precedent. We shouldn't do that either. He's like, "For the crime of murder, there are 3 things I can do legally. I can send him back to Earth." And Sinclair's like, "Nope, I asked. They don't want him. And they really don't want to give us the resources to send him somewhere else. What we need to do is oh God, what's the name of that movie with Vin Diesel? where he's like the super criminal in space.
Oh, Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. And then there was the Chronicles of Riddick. Don't they have a prison planet?
Mm-hmm.
We should just have a prison planet. Just boop. Drop them all on the prison planet. I mean, it would be less ethically dubious than wiping his personality.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at the end of the one. At the end of the one,
Yes.
Ulaw gets...
I am Ulaw!
I am nobody's bitch. And he gets like dumped on the prison planet. And then he has to start fighting his way down some stairs. That's how I want this episode to end.
This guy gets dropped on a prison planet.
I am nobody's bitch. And they're like, we can't keep him here. We only have a brig and it's already full and we don't have room for him. And that option 3 is, whoop, and they all look at Talia. They're like, hey, Miss Winters, we're going to need your help. And the sigh, she sighs. She's like,
Well, she is a Psy-Corps employee.
but hi, I'm part of the Corps.
Corps.
She's like, honestly, I would really rather we don't do that because I've been in a killer's mind before, which is what she talks about that in Deathwalker. And she's like, there has got to be another way. It's scary as shit in there. And they're like, well, we could get another telepath here. And she's like, I asked, and the Corps promised to send somebody, but there's a shortage of telepaths trained in criminal cases. And they're all like, wow, that's surprising because there has to be a really high demand. And she's like, yeah, there's a really high demand, but every time you go in there, it's like you're watching the iconic movie called The Cell.
I was going to bring that up.
God, that movie got shit on so hard, and you go back now, and it is so good. It's got Jennifer Lopez and Vincent D'Onofrio, doesn't it?
I think so.
I'm almost positive the bad guy. And like these beautiful lush
D'Onofrio
sets
is
and
so
all these, oh
good
my
as
God.
a really evil character.
Then everybody shit on it because Jennifer Lopez was in it. They were like, Ian Grouse, Jennifer Lopez is in it. It's a beautiful fucking movie. Does it need to make sense? No, just sit back and enjoy the
it's
pretty.
visual art.
Enjoy the pretty. God. That's what should have happened. They should have gone in and just be like, oh my God, are you Vincent D'Onofrio in your head? That's so weird. I mean, aren't we all?
Cut to excerpts from The Cell, direct lift.
I think The Cell is the 90s, isn't it?
I think it was late 90s.
Okay, I didn't bring my phone in here. I can't
Me
look that
neither.
up. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Leave a YouTube comment. You know you want to. She's like, there's demand. Sure, there's tons of demand, but like we burn out really fast. It's really stressful. And Garibaldi's like, cool, heard. So anyway, while you're inside his head, why don't you go ahead and see if he's killed anybody before? And the ombuds guy is like gets out his spray bottle. No, Garibaldi, down.
He has it ready because he's dealt with Garibaldi before.
Garibaldi, no, not cleanliness.
Maybe while you're inside his head, you can poke around, see if this guy's killed before.
Mr. Garibaldi, you know better than that. Scanning along those lines violates the right of due process.
You know better than that, is what he says. Scanning like that violates the right of due process. And this is the thing this is why he put this whole storyline in here, is to explain why in The Gathering, when they accused Sinclair of attacking Kosh, they couldn't have Lita just scan Sinclair and find out if he was guilty or not.
Because psi scans
are inadmissible in court.
Yep.
It's not, it violates due process.
Well, and the psychic could be biased.
Yeah.
And you can't control for that.
Or they could be visualizing themselves killing the person without ever having killed the person.
Right.
Just as like if I had done it, how would I have done it?
It ends up being very subjective, and then you're taking the psychic's word like as truth.
Plus, then you're incriminating yourself, which you should technically be guarded against having to do.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can't do that.
Right. In this case, the psychic just does a scan for comparison after the mind wipe.
Right. And
which apparently there's the machine.
Somewhere.
We're not going to rehash that.
No. Garibaldi's like, I mean, he's already been found guilty. And the ombuds is like, yeah, of this crime and not anything else. And I will not condone a fishing expedition. So take your guilty verdict and be grateful. Thank you. Somebody finally pushed back at Garibaldi and was like, no, you don't get to just do what you want to do. No. He's guilty. I've already given him the highest punishment available to me. There's no more. So just drop it. And then he turns to Talia and he's like, Miss Winters, I'm going to do this. And I need to know if I can count on you. Can I count on you? And she's like, oh my God, yes. And she nods. And this is one of the scenes where you can really tell that everyone is getting these really softly lit close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that moment where she's like, okay, and she nods. There is a lot of the conversation or like the emotion behind what's being said is conveyed through these really long close-ups in this episode in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone did more acting in this particular episode than in many, many episodes prior because they all had to like turn it out.
Yeah.
She couldn't like exaggeratedly nod in a composite shot with a whole bunch of people. Like this isn't a group photo. This is just her face filling the entire screen. And she has to like resignedly nod about it.
So in the Bill Mummy interview I was watching earlier, he said one of the things that he really liked about Babylon 5 playing Lanier is that he really had to stretch his acting muscles. So the other thing he was known for was Lost in Space, and he described that as on the natch. Because it was just
Him being him.
him being his natural self.
Wasn't he a child?
He was a child. Yeah. Child actor.
On the natch.
On the natch.
All right. That's
But
cool. I never
he
heard that
said
before.
with Lanier, he said, especially because of the prosthetics, he said, and Lanier as a character is very reserved.
Yeah.
He said, so everything he had to convey had to be very passive. And it was all in his facial expressions and his reactions to things. And so he really had to, he said, I'm not a method actor. That's not what I do. But I really had to like refine myself and
he does
like
a good job
practice
too.
it and like embody it to convey all that with Lanier.
He also said one of his inspirations was Kung Fu the Legend Continues.
Yeah.
So put that where you want to.
And another article I was reading said that the style of fighting that Lanier uses is like the Shaolin Kung Fu style from the Kung Fu series.
The chokehold of Kung Fu the Legend Continues that existed in the early 90s is everyone was in it. Everyone watched it. I even watched Kung Fu the Legend Continues.
Yep.
David Carradine was when he was on Kill Bill, I was like, oh, like the guy from Kung Fu the Legend Continues. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is when we come back to Dr. Franklin and he's roaming around Brown sector. Why do you even gotta call like the down below Brown? Like, come on. Give it a nice name. Because he's looking for
shit flows downhill.
Always. But he's looking for Brown 27G because he's walking around. He stops this woman and he's like, hey, I'm looking for Brown 27G. There's a lady named Laura Rosin. She's supposed to be around here somewhere. And the lady's like, oh, like that's over there. But what do you want with her? And he's like, oh, I heard that she's a quack. She's a kook.
Quack.
She's a con artist.
Excuse me. I'm a little bit turned around here. I'm looking for Brown 27G, a woman by the name of Laura Rosen. She's supposed to be around here somewhere.
It's right over there. What do you want with her?
Well, I've been hearing about some kind of quack practicing medicine without a license. A cross between a faith healer and a sideshow medicine man. Or woman in this case.
I'm sure it's all a misunderstanding. Good luck.
Right out
She's
the gate.
ripping people off.
She's lying to people's faces and pretending to be a doctor. Like,
and she's undermining my personal authority on this station. I'm going to take her down.
I fucking hate her. It's just straight out of the gate. He's not like, oh, I'm just looking for her. He's like, oh, she's a quack. He literally says it.
I heard there's some quack.
And then we proceed to say quack like 17 times in this episode.
It's a duck pond.
Is it? Is that just a quack? I tried to do it, but I just made it like squishy sound because I got a lot of flesh. Yeah. He's like, I'm looking for this quack that's practicing without a license. She's a cross between a faith healer and a sideshow medicine man. But you don't even fucking know her, okay? You know nothing. He didn't even Google her.
Bruh, chill.
He didn't even Google her before. He knows her name. Knows her name. He knows.
Which Google starts with G for Garibaldi.
Yeah. He could have.
That's what he ends up doing.
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
I think Google's around by 1994, right? Ish. I can't remember
I don't think
Google's
so.
birthday. Anyway, he didn't look this shit up. He didn't intranet this. He didn't poll the populace. He didn't ask everybody. He did nothing. He literally, somebody walked up and was like, oh, there's a lady named Laura Rosen down there.
Rosen
She's the one
or Rosen?
Rosen. 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 Down there, she's seeing patients or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, is she a quack? Is she a faith healer? Is she one step above or below a medicine man?" And they were like, "Wow,
snake oil,
snake oil salesman." Wow, it's just, I mean, and the lady that ends up being the lady's daughter. Like, he didn't know who that was. She could have just been coming from Laura's house.
Right.
She could be Laura. She could have been Laura Rosen. Right? He doesn't even know.
That's what I thought when we first watched it. I was like, that's her. And she just walked away.
And I would like to remind everybody that in the episode where he killed that child, he called himself God.
So what he's really mad about is...
She could have saved Sean.
Ooh, non-invasive.
She could have saved Sean because she could have healed what ailed him without having to open him up.
We don't see her using the machine on anyone that's not human. Does the machine require both sides of the machine to be hooked up to the same race?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
It must not, because it's not a human device. So she couldn't have tuned it to be human without really. She doesn't know enough about it to change it. She can just operate it.
In my head, the mechanics that I devised for how this works is that it's taking the pattern of biology from one entity and applying it to the other.
Yeah.
And like swapping them.
Okay. I think it's simply life energy. And even in that case, they could have used one of the parents or both parents.
Right.
To save Sean.
Right. So, yes.
Yeah.
You probably could have saved Sean with it.
Yeah.
And just wrap this around your arm.
Yep.
And think happy thoughts about your son.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Maybe that's what he's salty about.
Ooh, yeah.
Is this the final form of the device that the guy uses in A Princess Bride that sucks your life away? Just extrapolated 1,000 years out into the future.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'll put that right there. But he says this to this woman walking by, and she's like, wow, I'm sure that's all a misunderstanding or whatever. So, like, good luck. And then he walks in, and it is an older lady, and she's hooked up to this machine. And I love how she's like gently massaging the buttons. Like, they gave her this and they were like, I don't know, use it like you think it would be used. And she's like, okay, gentle press. She doesn't need to do anything. Does it have settings? There's like 4 buttons.
Later on, she pushes a bunch of different buttons to reverse it.
Yeah. She knows how to operate it.
Yeah.
But there's still only like 4 buttons. Anyway, this guy apparently has a growth, which is why I think it could have helped Sean, because she's like, this could begin to decrease your growth soon.
Mm-hmm.
But JMS specifically said it couldn't help with physical injuries. Like if you cut your arm off, couldn't regrow the arm.
Right.
If you had a large gash, it couldn't regrow the gash.
Mm-hmm.
But then he gets shot in the arm with a PPG.
Right,
Mueller.
but that's just a burn.
Well, it goes through his shoulder because the doctor's like, well, it would have cauterized. The PPGs have a little projectile. They're not just an energy weapon.
Oh.
Because they'll run out, or they're like I don't know. They'll run out of ammo, and it went through his shoulder or whatever. Or it could have like harmed his shoulder and cauterized it, but also like it needed nerve repair because he's like, I'm getting feeling back in my arm.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't really clear that up. But the guy's like, how will I know what it works? If it works. And she's like, oh, my treatments never fail. And this is when he's like, how do I pay you? And she's like, there's a box by the door. Don't show me what
Let
you're
your
gonna pay
heart
me.
guide you.
Yeah, pay me whatever you feel like paying. There's a thrift store near us who lets you do that. And let me tell you, it is a revelation. I am so tired of overpriced thrift stores. I can't even. I feel like I should start an entire podcast about how mad I am about overpriced thrift stores. Anyway, she doesn't even turn. She's just like, hello, doctor. I smelled you when you came in. I saw you before you got up this morning. I knew you were coming.
I've been watching.
I saw it in my crystal ball. She goes, I wondered how long it would take you to visit me. One healer to another. And he's like, well, I mean, it took me a while to notice my drop in patience because, I don't know, everybody kind of looks the same after a while. Have you been here before?
Hold on. It took him a while to notice the discrepancy in his personal contribution to the drop in patience and
The
someone
actual drop
else's
in patience.
contribution to the drop in his patience. Feeder program. Nobody will miss them.
No, it's fine. So I'm down here. I love how non-specific the origin of this device is.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, I bought it off a trader or something. I don't even know.
Got it on eBay.
Like, I bought it on eBay. Turns out it's a crazy artifact or whatever. Kind of reminds me of the plot from I'm feeling very referential today, but it kind of reminds me of the plot from the first Transformers movie when he's trying to sell those glasses on eBay. And because of the like burn-in from the Energon cube, all of the Transformers are after him because they know that those glasses saw the Energon cube. Or the Allspark.
The coordinates for where they are encoded in the glass.
Yeah. Are you Ladies Man 99 or whatever? What? That's exactly how it feels. That just means that there are like alien artifacts just floating about the countryside. Like there might be incredibly dangerous alien artifacts anywhere at any given moment, at any time. It's terrifying. I guess we just saw that not too long ago because his friend came through with those artifacts from that dead world.
Yeah. That turned him into like a super soldier.
Yeah. Anyway, she's like, yeah, I don't really know what it does though. I've only deciphered it kind of. Just the general list of meanings. And he's like, in other words, you don't know what it is or how it works? And she's like, oh, I know it works. It restores, renews,
I know how to make
invigorates.
it do things, but I don't know mechanism. What is it doing under the hood?
Kind of like I know how to start my car and go to the grocery store, but
Yes.
if you asked me to fix my car, I wouldn't fucking tell you what was what.
Right.
No.
She knows how to drive it. She just wouldn't know how to repair it or build a new one.
Well, I could take it to be repaired, though. I'm real good at that. She goes, it's good for ailments of the flesh and blood and bone. I like how she delivers
Yes.
everything.
very, very stage actor.
Yes, it's very old school stage actor, which again, Babylon 5 was in such a sweet spot for this, and they really took advantage of it. And she said it can cure everything from a cold to Stafford's disease. For a modest contribution is what the doctor contributes. He's like, oh, but people pay you. Bitch, you get paid.
Right?
What do you think people do when they go to med lab?
Literally, you gatekeep your healing skills behind money more than she does.
They got to pay to go see you.
Right.
She lets people see her and then they contribute if they can. That's entirely... Get off your horse.
Right.
Whatever high horse
That's like
you're
a
on right
community
now.
barter system
Just get the fuck
versus
off.
hyper-capitalism.
Right. Half the time when he's treating aliens, he's never treated that alien before ever. When he had Varn, he's never even done anything with anyone of that race ever before. He's as much medicine manning that shit as she is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a xenobiologist, but she's also a doctor. So she has medical training. She is as qualified to blunder her way through this as he is.
Right.
But I do like that part where he's like, yeah, but they pay you. You get a salary. You get paid twice. People pay to see you, and then you get paid to just be a doctor. And she's like, well, I leave that detail up to my patients. And he's like, oh, you have quite the operation here. Does the term con job ring a bell? And then the lady from earlier comes in.
Conscience job.
Yeah, because I'm good at doing things.
Because I have a conscience.
Bitch. Then the lady comes in that he asked earlier. And she's like, yeah, that's my mother. And she's not a fake or a quack. And he's like, you didn't say it was your mother. And she's like, you didn't fucking ask. You didn't. You just started pontificating
you
at
asshole.
me. You handed me a pamphlet about how terrible she is. I don't even you didn't ask me at all. She isn't hurting anybody. And he's like, well, she discourages proper treatment. It's not like she's handing out essential oils or some shit. She's using like an alien technology. He has no reason to believe that this alien technology is not working. He's right out of the gate. Like,
this is a machine that's incomprehensible to even the person using it, is exactly the kind of thing that you'd use in a con job.
Yeah.
Say it's going to make you feel better. And 30 to 40% of the time it would work because
of
the placebo effect. It's very powerful.
Right. But eventually it would come out that it wasn't working and they'd drift back to him. I don't know why he's so butthurt about this. But she's like, what, you don't like the competition? He's like, no, I have a problem with frauds. And then she stops him. She's like, you know what? Go. Will you just go? Will you?
Can you get out of my house, please?
Can you get the fuck out of here? Can you go fuck yourself? Can you leave? My mother is very tired after her sessions. And as a doctor, I'm sure you can understand. And he's like, all right, but as a doctor, I'll be back. You can count on it. And then he like sachets out the door. Angry walks. And then we come back to Carl Edward Mueller, and this is when he's getting sentenced. And I want to draw everyone's attention. That was the most southern draw I've ever done in my entire life. Draw. God, I can't. Draw everyone's attention to the neon bar that he's standing in front of. Do you think that's electrified? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Or did they borrow this from the Muay Thai branding kit?
This is in the courtroom?
Yes. Everyone in
the last time we were in a courtroom with the ombudsman, there was a fluorescent bar.
Yeah.
I don't think it's electrified. I think it's just
decorative. You think they borrowed it from the Muay Thai kit? Remember the Muay Thai had like neon bars all over everywhere, and I asked if maybe when you set up a franchise, they sent you a kit. That's kind of what it feels like. But they're prepared.
Maybe it's selectively electrified.
It would make sense since the last time we had anything to do with the ombuds guy, he got snatched. I would also have an electrical fence around myself, especially considering the types of
There's
people.
just a button under his podium. Get back down.
Most of the time it just hits Garibaldi. Fucking why? Down, Garibaldi, down. Stop shocking
Trust the
me.
justice system.
Stop shocking me. But they're like, yeah, okay, so we're going to render judgment. Do you have anything to say? And he just goes, stroke off, of course, which is fuck you. And they're like, cool, so I can't sentence you to death because a life taken will not balance the loss of another life.
So this is a trope in Batman where Batman refuses to kill anybody because if I kill a murderer, the number of murderers stays the same. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure just someone photoshopped like a Batman comic where this argument was being made. But it's a valid retort is, okay, you kill a second murderer.
Yeah.
Now the number of murderers has dropped by 1. You kill a third murderer, the number of murderers has dropped by 2.
Yeah.
Keep doing this. You can remove all the murderers. But Batman has principles about murder.
He's got principles. This is why we need Rorschach.
Mm-hmm.
Give me back my face.
Oh, Rorschach is such a good character.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good. Yeah. I'm glad you made me watch that movie. No, most of the time I'm not glad you make me watch things, but I'm glad you made me watch that movie.
Yeah, that was a long shot.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was.
okay, come on. You gotta watch Watchmen.
Change me to the chair. Put the little clockwork orange eye things in my eye. I don't want to. Eye dropping every 10 minutes. Keep watching Rachel. I don't want to. 30 minutes in. Okay, I kind of like it.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
It helped that guy was also in Preacher. Because he plays in Preacher.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's the oil guy.
He's the cow, the slaughterhouse guy.
Oh, that's right. I thought.
And then
doesn't he do oil
they have
too?
methane. They have a methane power plant.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's methane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run by the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this brings up the point that JMS made in one of his comments, which is he felt that every episode could be a mirror. That it's not necessarily about him telling you what to think, but about him providing you with a opportunity to think about the issue on your own.
Provocative.
So this episode in particular was intended to provoke the viewer
Conversations.
to have a conversation about where they fall on capital punishment.
Like, wow.
Which is real bold for an episode where you also reveal that the Centauri have 6 dicks, okay? Like, it's just, this episode gives and gives. So, we're not going to tackle that discussion right here, right now on We Are All Kosh. If you were hoping for that, I deeply apologize. I feel like it is an incredibly case-by-case basis thing. And to blanket say one way or the other how I feel about something really pigeonholes me in a way that I don't feel like it's a topic that really lends itself to black and white or extremism.
Right. There's a reason this has been a controversial topic across many societies for thousands of years.
I can tell you personally, I think it's ridiculous when people carry a gun and say, well, I would kill someone to defend myself. I probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to carry that burden for the rest of my life. I just don't think there's a situation where I would ever feel comfortable taking a life. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not. That doesn't mean that if someone were threatening my children in front of me that I may not. I don't know. I think that she makes the right choice at the very end when Laura kills him. I'd fucking do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's threatening my child, threatening another person. If he was just threatening her, she probably would have just let him.
Right.
Which is where I fall.
But he brings in her daughter and the other doctor on the station.
Right. Because you're asking me to say, is my life
and
greater
it's the
than your
only,
life?
It's the only option at her disposal.
Yeah. So we're not gonna. So sorry, JMS. You're not gonna get me this time. However,
and I think he has provoked a lot of conversation
but
about
not about not about capital punishment, just about the absolute banana bonkers concept of being able to wipe somebody's personality and then put a new one in there. When we've already done brain wiping as a plot point in a previous episode.
Yeah.
Correct. Anyway, what they've sentenced him to is the death of personality. So he's going to go to the med lab facility. He's going to be brain wiped. And then he will be given a set of new memories so that for the rest of his natural life, he will serve the community that was harmed by his actions, which means that Garibaldi will have to work potentially side by side with someone who killed one of his officers.
Whose body, under a previous mind, killed one of his officers.
Right. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? God, here we are again. Remember that indie movie we watched where that guy couldn't go a certain distance away from that lady or everyone around him would die?
Yeah. Radius.
This guy wakes up and he realizes that everyone within a certain distance of him dies. Unless anything alive dies. Unless he's with this particular woman. But neither one of them remember anything about their previous lives. They have no memories.
Right. They both woke up like the day before with no memories.
And so they end up going through the whole movie and kind of at least developing a friendship.
Right.
Like a really strong rapport. And he realizes he's a serial killer and that he was stalking her and he tried to kill her. And then something happened. Some supernatural event happened. I just spoiled it for you. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. Don't go back. Erase your own mind. It's fine. It's not that big of a reveal by the time you get there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not that person anymore because while he remembers what he did, those are not his memories. They're just like he doesn't re-become that person. So in the end, he shoots himself.
Yep.
Because they're wheeling her away. He knows she needs to get taken back to get medical care. And that he can't go with her.
He takes her to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then as she's being wheeled away before she hits the radius.
Shoots himself.
Yeah.
So there's a situation where he went through a mind wipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was a completely different person.
Yeah.
And he couldn't cope with what he had done before. Anyway, do they ever tell them? Can they find out? Do they wipe news broadcasts and stuff? What if people tell them?
That'd be interesting. Yeah, that gets complicated.
Yeah, because if you're working in the same community, people are going to know.
Right.
You'd have to be shipped off to somewhere where nobody knows you.
Eventually, you're going to find out.
If you stay where you are. Unless you're sent somewhere. Because he says
there's
later.
There's always a chance.
Yeah.
You'll find out. And
then what do you do?
Do you have fewer rights? Because you're a new personality.
Yeah. I don't know. Would it go on your record?
Do you get a new social security number?
Do you become a completely new person? Does it go on your record? When you go to get hired, are they like, oh, this is a mind wipe? So don't talk about their past life.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? This is the discussion it provokes.
It's like the witness protection program.
But it is the first thing that gets any kind of a rise out of him because he's like, erase me. I'll see you in hell first. All of you, you're already dead and you don't even know it. I love that this guy's niche is just creepy.
This actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does a good job. He's really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He's gross. I would hate to be in a room with him.
It's like Ray Liotta.
I don't think Ray Liotta's that creepy.
Oh, he does bad guy really well.
I mean, when he's a bad guy, but like this guy, I don't think he could turn it off. I don't know if I could be in a room with him even when he's not in character.
I only know of one movie where Ray Liotta played a good guy, and that was Karina.
Isn't he in that movie where it's like not Escape from New York, but he's on an island and he has to break out of the island and he's like wrongfully imprisoned? It's fine. It doesn't matter. We'll come back. We'll table that discussion. We've already talked about like 17 movies this episode. We need to focus. I used to write down every reference that we made and put them in the show notes. And then I just got like, I can't. We make too many. But this is when Garibaldi and Dr. Franklin are talking. And Garibaldi's like, so if you want to make it hurt when he gets his mind wiped,
that's cool.
I won't say anything. And Dr. Franklin's like, wow. What do I look like? Some kind of quack? Sideshow medicine man?
Snake oil salesman.
He's like, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. And Garibaldi's like, I mean, what? He scragged, iced, whatever you want to call it, kilt.
Unalived.
One of my best men. That guy had a family. It's not right. And Dr. Franklin is like, this is. No comment. Garibaldi's like, well, it's the law. So, and Dr. Franklin's like, that's not what I asked. And this is, we mirror this later after she kills the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because her daughter's like, you did the right thing. And she's like, no, I did the necessary thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean it was the right thing. So Garibaldi's like, it's the law. And Dr. Franklin is like, does that make it right?
Which is probably the moral of this episode. The right thing and the necessary thing are
not always the same thing.
The same.
Yeah. And Dr. Franklin's like, I assume you'll arrange for someone to throw the switch because I'm busy. I got a tight schedule. I got to go down and harass
I got my own switches to pull.
He goes, I got volunteers backed up 12 deep. And Dr. Franklin is like, More's the pity. Judgy bitch, would you get up off your high horse for a fucking second? You killed someone. You killed a child because you couldn't let his parents have their own say.
Mm-hmm.
You snuck in like a boogeyman from a fairy tale and performed an operation on this child who would have died in peace, and instead his parents called him a demon and then killed him. And now you're all,
And you knew that was going to happen.
And now you're all, oh, more's the pity. Fuck off. I can't with that argument. Just let it go. Go, okay. Let it go. It's happening. You're the one who apparently runs the equipment. Why is Dr. Franklin the one who operates the equipment?
Because he's the
Is
chief
it
of staff.
Is it a medical procedure?
Yeah.
If it was a medical procedure, why didn't he know about the ability to give somebody memories in the Grail?
That's a plot hole.
Okay, Babylon 5 doesn't have many of them. Okay,
Right.
So I got to pick at the scab
Okay.
while
okay.
it's here.
This plot hole exists because JMS has a hole in his mind.
Yeah, because he was so sick.
The drug-induced psychosis that produced multiple scripts.
Listen. We had so much fun with plot holes in Forever Night, and I get so few opportunities to pick apart continuity errors in Babylon 5 that when they show up, I have to savor them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what this is me.
It's a delicacy.
It is. It's like, oh, here's one. Oh, this isn't good.
In Forever Night, it's fast food.
No, forever.
Here, it's a delicacy.
It's every single episode. I'm looking at you, vampire dog. We do have a vampire dog 5K shirt design made, and I really just need to work with Meg on getting some kind of
event planned
because we made it so that we could donate money to the multiple sclerosis charity in Toronto, because the dog cures multiple sclerosis with its vampirism, which it becomes, I can't. That's, if you were like, what the fuck? Correct. That's your correct response to that episode. And the flashback for that whole episode is the Hounds of the Baskervilles. So, hey. Anyway, Dr. Franklin goes, oh, one more thing, a favor in exchange for this. A favor? You are required to do this. You are court ordered to do this. That is not the definition of a favor. And the favor would be, I won't check the equipment too closely.
Right.
Not, I will do what I was court ordered to do. So, by the way, can you get some information on Laura Rosen? She's running a questionable operation.
Quack.
Questionable only in that I have asked her questions, not that.
Questionable only because I question the efficacy of her treatments.
Garibaldi's like, is it illegal? And he's like, I'm trying to find out. And Garibaldi's like, I'll have it for you within an hour. On it.
My position on that response is Garibaldi already has a report on her.
Oh, probably. He just gets his folder out.
Yeah. So whenever Garibaldi gives a short timeline, like I'll have that for you in an hour.
He's already got it done.
I'll have it for you by the end of the day. He already has it done.
Right.
And then when he doesn't, it's like, oh, I'll get it to you when it's ready.
Yeah. All right, give me some time.
Me a couple days.
He doesn't give a timeline if he doesn't already have it ready. Yeah.
Yep.
I think you're exactly correct. This is the part in the story where when we cut to Lanier and Londo arriving at Darkstar. And I only reference this because we didn't get a chance. The one movie that we have not discussed in this episode is Darkstar, which if you have not watched Darkstar, I think it's available on Tubi. Is it an easy watch? I would argue no. Does it have the same special effects coordinator as Aliens? Also, yes. So if you were wondering about the range of Dan O'Bannon can give you the alien hive queen, spit dripping down. What's the name of the
double
artist?
Mouth?
The artist that it's all like inspired by.
Oh, Geiger.
Yeah. Giger inspired, just fucking wild shit. And can also give you a beach ball with spray painted dots and plastic feet? You're correct. He can do both. He has the strength to do
Two things
both.
can be true.
He has the strength to do both, okay? And we've discussed the captain who asks about the cubs every time they wake him up.
Yeah, he's in like cryo.
It
stasis,
is
whatever.
It's bizarre. It's so 70s and so weird.
Surfboards.
Yeah, he surfboards down into the
Surfboards
atmosphere.
into atmospheric reentry
Yeah.
as the like ship
Burns up, I
explodes,
think.
burns,
I don't
whatever.
even remember. It doesn't. What matters is at one point in time, a man named Jodorowsky watched Dark Star and was like, I must have this man for my movie. And recruited Dan O'Bannon. And because he recruited Dan O'Bannon from Dark Star, Dan O'Bannon met Giger because Jodorowsky had also contracted with Giger to create the aesthetic for his movie. So Dan O'Bannon and Giger only get together because Jodorowsky never read Dune but wanted to make it into a movie anyway.
He'd heard good stories about Dune.
It's wild.
And was inspired. Yeah. Look up and watch Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah.
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Just for Jodorowsky.
That will entertain you, right?
Yeah.
It is captivating.
Look.
And then you can listen to our episode about Jodorowsky's
The
Dune.
part where Jodorowsky has that handful of cash and he's like, what?
Why do we do this? For this paper?
For this paper? Poof, and he throws it and he's like, this is meaningless. This is nothing. This is not art. This is paper. And you're like, oh. I love him so much.
And Jodorowsky's still around.
Yeah.
He's still doing
Look,
shit.
anyone who makes a movie where a guy shits gold is definitely worth just going for it. Meanwhile, Dr. Franklin's on the Zocalo. He walks up to Laura's sister. Oh, God. I'm going completely off the rails.
Jodorowsky will do that to you.
I have to get back on.
Jodorowsky, the wild man.
I know. For this paper in my hand. This is not art. And he goes, can I talk to you for a minute? And he's talking to Laura's daughter. Is it Laura's the daughter? Young Rosen. Young female Rosen. And he's like, can I talk to you for a minute? And she's like, I got a quota to make or it's going to take it out of my salary.
Right, she's selling jewelry at the Zocalo.
Right. Is that legal? I feel like that's not legal. I feel like she could probably report that to like a labor board or something.
Oh, what, about making a quota?
About if she doesn't make the quota, her money gets taken away. She doesn't get paid. Unless it's like a commission. It doesn't. She's just shh.
It's like the local restaurant where
Everyone's
it's only
paid in cash.
And everybody works for only tips.
Yeah.
You don't actually get paid an hourly wage.
There's a reason for that. And I don't want to get into it right now. Shh, don't narc on our local restaurant who makes the best burgers ever. But he literally picks up like 6 necklaces and he's like, is that enough? Is that your quota? Is that good? And they had to add sound to this, right? Because there's always a Foley artist.
Yeah.
And so I have to wonder, why did they make it sound like plastic beads clicking together?
Because it looks like plastic beads.
I mean, I know what it looks like, but you could have tried.
Make it more like a crystal or metallic
or
sound.
glass or metal. Yeah, something where you're like, oh, this is a precious stone or whatever, and not like, this is my pony bead necklace.
Mm.
Otherwise, her quota sucks, right? It's fine. It's fine. Because he's like, that's enough, apparently, because they go to eat together. So they're sitting down, and he's like, okay, so according to the station registry, your mom's like a real doctor. Like a real doctor.
Or she used to be.
She took an oath and everything. And she's like, yeah, that's right. They're like, Dr. Franklin's like, why wouldn't you fucking tell me? And she's like, because you would, you came in and were like, she's a quack. She's a hack.
Snake oil!
You were just screaming. We didn't know what to do. Just pushed you out of the room with a pole. Like, what? You didn't give us a chance to talk. He's like, you wouldn't understand. She's like, you wouldn't understand. And he goes, try me. Try me. And boy, oh boy, does Dr. Franklin understand so much better than she could have ever possibly imagined.
Heavy foreshadowing.
'Cause she
stick a pin in this.
Spins this tale about how her mother was a very dedicated doctor, and she was so dedicated that she started staying up late. And so because she was staying up late, she started taking cocaine stims. And those helped her stay up at night, but pretty soon she was taking them all the time because she was addicted. And this is one of the moments where a lot is being conveyed by face that isn't being conveyed by words. Because Dr. Franklin is like, oh, shit. The look he gives is very telling. It's very subtle, but also effective. And she's like, she wouldn't admit it to anyone. She wouldn't listen to anyone until one day she made a mistake and somebody died. And Dr. Franklin's like, I'm sorry. And the daughter's like, when they took her license, they took a reason for living. And so she decided, Hail Mary, pass. I will not try to be a nurse. I will not try to find some other way of being able to help people. I'm going to hit the stars and try to find a random alien healing technology. That's how I'm going to fix this. It's the most convoluted way to come back from what happened, right? You make a mistake. Right. You can't be a doctor ever again. So you're like, if I can't be a doctor, then I'm going to find
alien technology that can heal.
I'm going to find a magical genie that has 3 wishes that I can use to get my magic doctor's license back. And then she could come back vindicated and they'd give her back her life. I mean, I guess it's not rational, but sometimes your decisions are not rational when you're in grief. When you're in grief. And she was like, that was 3 years ago. And now, and Dr. Franklin's like, oh yeah, now she thinks she's found it. What do you think? Do you think your mother's a quack? A hack? Do you think she's lying to everyone around you, including you? Yes, but not about what you think. And she's like, I think that for the first time in years, I see her smiling. And I think that I see hope in her eyes. And Dr. Franklin's like, okay, but the machine doesn't work, though. And she's like, okay, but have you fucking ever tried it, though? Like, if it was real, he's like, she goes, how do you know? If you tested it, examined it, or are you acting like a quack by
sideshow medicine man
by making claims that you do not make any effort to actually support? Which one of us is actually
not when health professionals take heroin, they can make some misguided claims about what is best for the people
around them, and then they kill people and then they go off in search of alien healing technology. I'm sure that's
or
never
they ban vaccines
ever going to come up again. Yeah, or that. Anyway, Dr. Franklin goes, no, I haven't examined it, but if it was real and it worked, why would she still be here? Which is a legitimate question. That's a good question. That's the first actual rational thing he said, where he's like, if it worked, you'd already be making money at it. I would be. So why aren't you? Why aren't you on Earth showing her discovery? And she's like, well, we don't have the money. And he's like, oh no, I checked. You do. He can look that shit up.
Garibaldi's report is extremely thorough.
He gave them her bank accounts.
Garibaldi is extremely thorough.
That feels illegal. That feels illegal. Feels extremely illegal. Some deep, meaningful level. Like it'd be like, I'm arguing with you. We're not married. We are married, but in this hypothetical situation, you're like, you can't buy that car.
I don't see a ring on your finger.
Because I have sensory issues. I don't need to bring that up right now. But he's like, you can't, you would be like you saying, you can't buy that car. You don't have the money. And I'm like, what? You don't know that. And you're like, no, I hacked into your bank account and looked at it. And she just takes it in stride. She's like, well, she doesn't need to know that that we could go back, because I don't want her to go back, because she's not a well woman and she doesn't have very long anyway. And she's finally happy. And I'm not going to throw her to the fucking wolves. okay? I never want to see her as she was before, defeated, lost, and hopeless. She's a healer now, and that's all that matters. Don't take it away from you. Don't take it away from her. And if you do, I will fight you and I will win. And she doesn't say if this is legally or physically. Is she gonna
works both ways?
I mean, is she going to stalk him outside a med lab? Be like, I told you I'd get you. Honestly, it would make as much sense as anything else. But this is when we come back because Talia is getting ready to do the damn thing. She's getting ready to like throw herself into this guy's mind. Which, if it's so traumatic, why even require it?
Because they need to know if it worked.
If you can erase a mind and replace it with another personality, can you not scan it to find the brainwave pattern? It's
One
not
way.
the same.
It's write only, no read.
It's just a CDW, not a CDRW. Remember when they were like CD plus RW and CD minus RW and it mattered? And you'd Google that and everyone would be like, well, mine plus is always working. Oh, it was always terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. We just bought a car that has a CD player and Matt was like, we can burn mixed CDs. And I was like, we don't own a CD player. We don't own a CD burner. And he was like, yet. Yet.
I think one of these stack of laptops that I have lying around has a CD or DVD burner
Look, if
built
anyone
in.
can figure it out, I believe in you. I want to make mixed CDs and
Or
have them
we can buy one for like $10.
have them over my, the like
I'll get back on
CD
Newegg.
case that
Yeah.
went over your,
Oh,
on your thing.
yeah.
And you would pull it down to look in the mirror and it would just be CDs.
Yeah, like 10 CDs in,
Yeah.
in their sleeves.
So good. Anyway, Talia is putting a black bar over her Psycor symbol, which we talked about earlier. It's because she's getting ready to like do the last thing before this guy dies. She's the last point of contact before his personality gets wiped.
Yep.
So she walks in and she's like, I'm here to perform the brain scan. I can produce the order if you want to see it. And then he just does gross shit for a while. I don't really think we need to go over it. He's just like, I'm going to be gross because I'm gross. And I'm going to be mopping floors and cleaning toilets for the rest of my life. And I'm going to be happy to serve.
It's an interesting metaphor that he has for why he kills.
He needs voices for the choir.
Voices for the choir.
That's just, okay.
Is JMS trying to tell us something?
I don't know what is happening here.
Is he just, he doesn't know.
Honestly,
JMS doesn't know.
Mueller
because he has a hole in his mind.
He does. Honestly, Mueller is the least interesting part of this entire subplot.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit about him at all. I give a shit about the
He's just a
discussion around,
psychopath.
but he's just like your standard TV. I'm a creep, doing creeper shit. He's creepy in that this actor is doing a great job of making him creepy. Is he the most original psychopath I've ever seen in my entire life? Not even like a tiny little bit.
No.
Imagine if we could have gotten this episode with the Michael Sheen character from that TV show where he played the psychopath whose son worked for the FBI, and his son would go and talk to him as part of like profiling people. I think it was called Prodigal Son. Was I the only one that watched that?
Oh!
You were thinking Martin Sheen,
I
weren't
was
you?
thinking Martin Sheen.
I knew it.
Yes. The one with Michael Sheen.
You're like,
Yes, that
Martin
was really
Sheen
good.
is a psychopath? I'm really trying to dig here and I'm having a hard time. Yeah, it's called Inner Space. But then she scans his brain, and yes, he's killed a lot of people, blah, 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 blah. I need their voices. They're going to sing me into heaven. Stay for the symphony. And she has to like get up and flee. And that's that whole scene. It happens. I'm over it. And this is when we come back because Rose, the yet to be disappeared assistant to Dr. Franklin, shows up and she's like, hey, so I did the follow-up on all those patients that you requested.
Here's their medical files.
Here's their medical file. And he's like, oh, her daughter thinks she's doing the right thing. But like, if we can show these people that they're actually getting worse because they're not getting real treatment, and then he's opening it and he's like, this is not correct. this is not right.
Hold on. Flip. Wait a second.
Yeah, he's like, I love how most of the time the paper is just like a transparency, like an overhead transparency. And yet this one is paper in those plastic paper protector shields.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying. They were like, make it plasticky as best as you can. He's like, this can't be the same patients that she's seeing. Is it? Like, are these the patients? And Rose is like, yeah, why would I have told you that it was them if it wasn't them? And he's like, I'll be right back. So he runs off. And he catches her in the middle of a procedure and he pulls out a medical scanner from his pocket. And he's like, boop, 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 boop,
It's
boop.
not a tricorder.
Does he carry that with him all the time?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't feel ethical either. I guess it's like having one of those CPR masks on your keychain
Yeah.
because you got to be ready at any moment to doctor. Right. It's not like he's some quack or something. He's got to carry this thing around. And what he discovers is that her life signs drop significantly when she's using this thing.
Right.
15%, in fact. But I love what she says to him because he walks up and he's like, oh, hey, I'm back. And she's like, would you please go away? I am really tired. Can you maybe fuck off? And he's like, oh, no, I imagine you're really tired. I watched your life signs drop like 15%. Can we stay here and talk about it? He leaves. Not at all. He does not leave. She's like, please leave. And he's like, hard pass. Not leaving. And he goes, where did you get this? And she's like, I bought it from a trader 2 years ago. Yeah, she got it off eBay.
Yeah.
She got it off eBay. I had no idea. He had no idea what it was, and neither did I. But it looked kind of cool. So she goes, it took me months to figure it out. And it was designed as a means of corporal punishment. So we were like wrapping the whole corporal punishment package up together, where criminals who were sentenced to death had their life energy removed, and that energy was used to heal others who were dying of terminal illness. She actually says criminals who are sentenced to death on different worlds, which would imply that I think any life energy is compatible.
Mm.
I mean, we already have reason to believe that life energy is compatible, but we can't talk about it yet. We can't talk about it yet. We'll come back to this because this is going to show back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, I don't use it at full power. I just do a little. It does some good. It's perfectly fine. And Dr. Franklin's like, yeah, except you're literally giving your life energy away to people. So it's killing you by inches. And she's like, oh, you don't understand. I'm dying anyway. She goes, it's Lake's syndrome. And every time she has to say it, she does Lake's syndrome. Like, exaggerates the Lake syndrome. We looked it up, and the telltale sign that it's made up is like Babylon 5, Lake syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like Moonlight and that made up blood type.
Yeah.
AO negative. If you look it up, it's like this is some shit made up for Moonlight. Don't even ask. And he's like, my God, the pain must be. And she just goes, yes. It's terrible. I have 2, maybe 3 years left at the most. And that's time enough. If I can figure out how this works, then I can adjust it so it's not hurting the person that's administering it. Okay, but if it operates by transferring life force, where will the energy then come from?
Hold on. It's like in the Dresden Files ghost story. And Harry's running around just
in his soul.
As his soul, his bare soul. And something like takes a bite of him. And Harry's like, oh no, I lost a piece of my soul. And what's the skull guy?
Bob?
Bob's like, oh, it grows back.
Yeah, you get better. Well, not in this world, you don't.
Well,
and they're not really giving. Okay.
Maybe when you just get a little dribble of life force, like her body like heals it back.
Yeah.
If she does it in small enough doses, it doesn't actually shorten her lifespan.
Well, she's been doing it for a while.
Right.
And she's doing it routinely every single day.
Right.
And she hadn't died yet, so.
It grows back.
I don't know. It's not fleshed out. It doesn't matter. But he's like...
A hole in his mind.
Dr. Franklin's like, why did you say you didn't know what it did, though? And she's like, you were screaming in the hallway about how I was a crack. Crack.
It shows medicine man. Snake oil. I wasn't in a good mood to talk to you.
He's like, oh, you heard that, did you?
Oops.
Oopsie doodle. And she says, plus, telling you the truth would mean telling Janice. Her daughter's name must be Janice. Good thing we got that correct. This deep into the episode would mean telling Janice how it affects me. She wouldn't understand. She'd stop me. She loves me very much, it seems. God knows why. Is she not your daughter? Is she not your daughter? That you probably dragged all around the countryside with you looking for alien technology? He's like, hey, so can I look at it, though? Because I might know people that can help. And I wrote down, your murderer friend? Are you gonna take it to him in prison? Why not just say you're a xenobiologist and not just a doctor?
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, no. She's like, doctor, this is
like the cleaning lady in Family Guy.
No. She's like, doctor, this has been my life for the last 2 years. If there's going to be a discovery here, I'm going to make it. This is my last chance to do good. So, like, just let me finish what I've started. But I'll make a deal with you. If I die, if anything happens to me before I finish it, you can have the machine. So you can carry on with my work. I'll give you my notes and everything. In exchange, Janice never knows that this was killing me. Agreed? And he's like, cool, but only if you come to MedLab once a week so I can monitor your condition.
Monitor
your condition. And I reserve the right.
I'm very good at keeping secrets about medical causes of death, especially involving aliens.
I also have a cookbook I'm writing.
My notes are also extremely thorough.
Extremely thorough. Every single one of her notes is just patient will die or patient death is imminent. We all die sometime. And he says, I reserve the right to intervene if I think you've pushed yourself too far. And she's like, done. She doesn't define what too far is. He could call that anything.
Oh, yeah. Right now.
Right
You're
now.
pushing yourself too far. I'm cutting you off.
You can't. You have lake syndrome. You can't be doing any of this.
This is dangerous.
This is dangerous. And he goes, once a week, starting Monday. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. And then he goes, until then, doctor. Not
Wink.
Not quack. Not sideshow medicine man, but doctor. And this is when Janice walks in and she's like, hey, are you harassing my mother again? Good call. Probably. Actually, yes.
Yeah. Good instincts.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I was just checking in. She's a good woman, Janice. You should be proud. And she's like, I mean, yeah, I kind of always have been. But it's great to hear somebody else say it. And he's like, okay, so goodbye.
I love her very much, though I don't know why.
But he's like, listen, if you ever want to take a break, like, I'd love to buy you dinner sometime. And she's like,
I would never date someone whose mom is a quack.
But
That's been resolved.
So turns out you're back on the market.
You're just my type.
And Janice is like, well, whatever my mother said, it must have been something. And he goes, it was. And I put next to my notes, empathy. So hot right now.
I was like, from her perspective, oh, wow. A man with strong opinions who can change his mind based on facts and like personal testimony.
Oh,
so hot.
He listened to my mother and changed his feelings based on, actually he didn't. He listened to Garibaldi.
Yeah.
Another man told him that she was fine. And he was like, okay.
But he was proven wrong.
Yeah. And he went with it.
He went with it.
Which is the
And
So
then
hot
he
right
went
now
and
part.
talked to her, and
Yeah.
he had an actual conversation and decided to cooperate with her.
What's the most
like,
important
oh.
step a man can take?
The next one.
The next one. Not the first
There
one.
can be no journey without a beginning.
Really, the most important part about this whole section is Janice's crochet vest. Little floral crochet vest. So cute. Then we go to Garibaldi meeting with Talia in the Zen garden, which it's a good thing they put this in because remember they implied that they had to fight to have this because so much of the rest of the space is all hydroponics.
Right.
And this is one of the first, I think this first CG image that we have of the Zen garden where we actually see that the whole inside of the tube section is all gardens
Mm-hmm.
and like oxygen reclamation plants and stuff, which is a pretty cool idea. That you don't have
I think we
just
get one shot before where we see the inside of the cylinder.
when they're going down
it's
the
on
tube.
a lift.
They're
Yeah.
on like the tube
Yeah,
that
the
goes down the
center-
middle. Yeah,
center
because they don't really just reclaim oxygen through like mechanical means. They have plants that
Right.
do that.
And then I think they use that for food too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good multifaceted like Babylon 5 is self-sufficient. Babylon
Right.
5 has to be self-sufficient. But Garibaldi finds her and he's like, "There you are. I was looking for you." I just read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and there is a quote that is like one of the most popular quotes from the first book, where this character named Rhysand goes, "There you are. I was looking for you." And that's all I could think of. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't look into it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And she's like, "Have you finished with Mueller?" And he's like, "Yeah." Oh, sorry. The other way around. I was like, wait a minute. We don't get him. See, got turned around. Talia's finished with Mueller. Garibaldi's like, "Are you done?" She's like, "Yeah." She goes, "I got a good look. Enough for a comparison scan. I'm not going back in there. Please don't fucking talk to me about it. Okay? I'm here because I needed a minute. Okay?" She's like, "You can proceed whenever you want." And he goes, "Thanks. Are you okay?" And she goes, no. No, not really. You know, I've been here for a long time. I've scanned a lot of minds in the last 5 years that were so different that at times I was afraid I wasn't going to find my way back out. But at least those minds had more humanity than what I saw a few hours ago." And she says, "You know how earlier you said you would bet good money that he killed before? You would not have lost." And that is the end of that scene. It's just her being like, "I fucking hate having to do that. I really fucking hate it." And then we cut to Garibaldi taking the prisoner to MedLab to be wiped and failing to clear the path of personnel before he did it.
Right.
Because he calls the tube and Lou is like chilling on the tube. He's like, "Oh, hey, Garibaldi, is that a bad guy?" Garibaldi's like, "Yeah, dude, it's definitely a bad guy." He definitely leaves enough time for Mueller to get the jump on everybody and get into the tube. And it's just like seriously?
Like, why not keep him locked in a cell or something and bring
Why
the
not
machine to
sedate
him?
him? Sedate him and drag him there. What difference does it make if he
Yeah, or
walks to his own
straitjacket.
execution? Look, clear the path. Make sure the tube is going to be open and ready for you, and that Lou's not going to be on there reading the newspaper or whatever the fuck he's doing. And be like, "Oh, hey, Chief, going down?" He's like, "No, man, head it up." But we do find out that he has a priority override on all the tubes, and he can just stop them at will.
That's how he's always on the tube.
Yeah, because Garibaldi's like, "This is a priority override, kill number 7. Now." And then we come back to MedLab, and they're talking to Lou, because they've gotten Lou. Mueller gets off the lift. He runs off into whatever. And they're talking to Lou, and they're like, "Wow, what happened?" And he's like, "I don't know, like a PPG flashed at him right before he jumped at me. It must have gone through his arm." And Dr. Franklin like, "Oh, the flash would cauterize the wound but still cause damage. He would need medical attention. But if he comes here, we'll take him. If he comes here." And they're like, "Huh, well, he got off and down below. So..."
Oh, no, the free clinic.
I know. He's like, "Oh, no." So he calls Rose, and Rose is like, "Well, I mean, if he did come here, he'd be the only patient we had all day." Pfft. Words really gotten out about that. Quack! Sideshow medicine man. Snake oil salesman. About that quack in her machine. And he's like, she's not a, you know what, actually, fuck it. It's not the time to have this argument. Tell Garibaldi I'm going to Brown 27G, and if she doesn't hear from me, he doesn't hear from me, send a team. And she's like, aye, aye, Captain. Will do. And apparently this was something that got a little bit of flack. Because he doesn't just send security.
Right.
Well, JMS's argument was security was already involved sweeping the station.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make sense to pull an entire team from like a coordinated search effort to just go to this one particular place where you're not even sure he's going to be. So it makes...
But at least it's a lead on a place he would go.
Right, but what he does do is inform her of exactly where he's going and a timeline for like, if you don't hear from me, send somebody then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to warn this woman. I don't know if this bad guy is there or not. If he's not, it would be fine. If he is within 10 minutes of me getting there, security's going to be on their way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at how he does that. I think it's fine. So he's like, but when he does walk up to the door and it's open and dark, and he's like, Laura, are you consulting your crystal ball? What are you doing? He's like, it's Dr. Franklin. So he goes in just to find Mueller holding Janice hostage while Laura Rosen sacrifices her life energy to heal his PPG injury. And she's like, I'm really tired. And he's like, wow, it's only been 20 minutes and I've already regained some use of my arm. This is fucking great. What's his plan from here? Like, how's he going to get off the station?
He's a psychopath. He doesn't have a plan.
To plan. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. He's like, and once this is all over, it never hurts to have a second opinion or a second hostage.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Laura's like, wait, you promised you'd let her go if I helped you. And he's like, seems like a waste though, doesn't it?
I lied.
And she's like, great, then I refuse to continue. And he's like, no, you got to go or you got to finish or she dies now and not later. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is going to feel so good because Dr. Franklin tries to leave and he shoots at Dr. Franklin. And he's like, stay or my next shot will not miss. And Dr. Laura is like, well, I guess she's not a doctor, technically speaking. But Laura is like, he's right. He won't miss. We don't have any other choice. And then she reverses the polarity. She crosses the streams. And she like transfers all of her illness and absorbs all of, which previously never previously did the illness transfer to Laura. Her life energy went to them.
Right. And that may have been part of how she had doing it just little doses at a time where she was only transferring pure life force. But when you do it wide open,
you get everything. Yeah, because she sends him everything. All of her Lakes syndrome. Of pain almost too much to imagine. Arthritis. Your vision blurred. Your intestines are on fire? Okay. What a weird one to include. Your veins are burning with pain.
He's right. He won't miss. We have no other choice.
What are you doing? Stop it!
You'll do nothing. That pain you're feeling, that agony, that's Lake's syndrome. A pain almost too much to imagine. Arthritis. Your vision is blurred. Your intestines are on fire. Your veins are burning with pain. You threaten me. You murderer. You threaten my daughter. You'll never hurt anyone again. Do you hear me? You'll never hurt anyone again.
Your ass will...
Your ass is exploding. Like you just ate $50 of Taco Bell.
God, no. He's like, she goes, you threaten me, you murderer. You threaten my daughter. You'll never hurt anyone again. Do you hear me? You'll never hurt anyone again. And then he dies. And then we cut to her in the courtroom, and the ombudsman is like, yeah, it was self-defense. You're fine. So, yay. But they do take the machine. Yeah. They're like, sorry, but like, you're fine. We're letting you go. But that alien device that was used in this action kind of needs to be turned over to the personnel.
Right. People don't kill people. Guns do.
Yeah, and so do rogue alien technology.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a gun.
Yeah.
We're seizing
effectively.
it. We're seizing the weapon.
Yeah, you may have used this gun in self-defense, but you still used a weapon. And so we're still going to
take this weapon. And it was not registered.
No, not even a little bit. You quack.
You sideshow medicine man.
Snake oil salesman. To ensure that it's not misused in the future, is what he said. Then he's like, court's adjourned. Good luck, everybody. See you. Bye, bye, bye. And then he leaves, never to be seen again. And Garibaldi is like, if it helps, you did the right thing. And she's like, yeah, thanks. That doesn't really help from you, actually.
I've seen what makes you cheer.
They're like, are you all right? And she's like, I mean, I've taken a life in direct violation of my oath as a doctor, but like, I'm free from pain. I'm cured. And through no choice of my own, I now have 20 to 30 more years to live. I was all prepared to die. And now I'm like good to go.
This is so inconvenient.
This was not part of my plan. She goes, I do so at the expense of a man's life. So like, no, I'm not all right. And this is when she says, I didn't do the right thing. I did the necessary thing.
I may never be all right again.
You heard Mr. Garibaldi. You did the right thing.
Darling, I did the necessary thing. That is not always the same as the right thing.
And then she's like, if you'll excuse me, I kind of want to just be alone for a while.
We get one more scene with her and Dr. Franklin with the machine.
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Well, then where Dr. Franklin says, who knows, maybe this can be used to keep someone alive when nothing else works.
Yeah. But that's not quite yet. Where she's like, you're a dreamer.
Is there another scene?
There's another one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because this is when Ivanova shows up and she's like, hey, there you are, Garibaldi. I bring glad tidings. And he's like, good. I could use some fucking good tidings. And she's like, remember that disturbance in Dark Star where you broke up a riot and you arrested 30 humans and 2 unidentified aliens? And he's like, yeah. Like I've meant to look into it, but like I've been really fucking busy. I don't know. We just had like an escaped psychopath or whatever. I don't know if you noticed. And she's like, oh, no. I identified them. And then they get in the tube and he goes, what? And then we cut to beat up Londo. Like disheveled, hair perfect, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But buttons
He's
undone.
Londo.
And Lanier has a black eye and they're just sitting there like 2 kids that got caught doing something. Mm-hmm. It's the best part of the whole episode. And Sinclair's like, now. I'm waiting for an explanation. And Londo goes, I'll give you one as soon as the room stops spinning. And Sinclair goes...
It's such a dad joke.
He goes, gravity on this station is generated by spinning. This station never stops spinning. And Londo goes, well, you begin to see my problem.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, gentlemen.
Yes, and I am prepared to give you one, Commander, as soon as the room stops spinning.
This station creates gravity by rotation. It never stops spinning.
Well, I begin to see my problem.
Mr. Lanier?
Just like Ivanova's line about not waking up well when it's dark.
Yeah.
Where in space it's always dark. And you begin to see my problem.
Sinclair's like, never mind. Lanier. And Lanier's like, this incident was completely my responsibility. I asked Londo Malari to help me learn about the station, and I went somewhere where I wasn't familiar with the rules of conduct, and through error, I created a fence. And that offense created an incident. And Sinclair looks over and he's like, Ambassador, do you have anything to add? And Londo's like, no, not at this time. And Sinclair's like, okay, well, you guys have diplomatic privilege, which means I can't charge you, but you do have to pay damage. You do have to pay damages. And they're like, okay, great. No problem. Thank you, Commander. And this is when Londo was like, Lanier, seriously?
What the fuck?
Through no fault of his own, Londo ended up learning something about the Minbari.
Mm-hmm.
Completely involuntarily.
He did build a relationship. Despite his best efforts.
He tried so hard not to, but he's so personable. But Lanier tells him that in Minbari culture, it's an honor to help someone else save face. So they can't lie unless you're lying to help somebody save face.
Right.
This could be the most problematic thing about them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because when are they lying to save face? And then you can't get them to tell the truth because then they will lose face.
Right.
Because you are doing them the dishonor of inquiring about a lie. This is so circular.
Yeah.
And Londo's like, but Delenn, and he's like, no, she's gonna know. She's gonna know that I didn't do this, but she's not gonna inquire out of respect.
Yeah.
So like, peace out, Ambassador. And Londo goes, Lanier, thank you. If there's everything you need from me, and he's like, actually, there is like just this one thing. I just have this one little thing. When we were at the gaming table,
a part of you reached out.
Somehow a part of you reached out for the cards? And Londo's like, yeah, and he's like, what was that? And he whispers it. He like leans in. And Lanier just looks at him like,
shocked.
Oh my God, what? He's like, yeah, it's true. And he picks up the statue of Lee, goddess of passion. He's like, a synthesis of male and female Centauri. Did you think these were just decorations? And Lanier goes, I'm going to take a vow of silence concerning this entire conversation. Would he be freaked out by this?
I don't know.
I don't necessarily think he would. It may be like, because this isn't common knowledge, I'll just keep it to myself. I'm not freaked out necessarily, but like, if you didn't feel comfortable, because Londo checks around to make sure no one's listening, and then he whispers it even though there's nobody there anyway.
Right.
So this is clearly a private matter.
Right.
So Lanier's probably saying, I'll respect your privacy. Less, I'm going to kink shame you because you have 6 dicks. Then he leaves. And Londo's...
And you flashed it at the poker table.
Yeah. Because it has a suction cup and it can pick up cards. And it's prehensile. Okay. And Londo goes, they are strange people, but they are okay. He leaves. That's the end of their whole thing. And this is the part where they have their final talk, where Dr. Franklin and Laura and Janice are all chatting. And she's delivering the equipment. She's delivering the machine. She's like, there you go. I trust you'll put it to better use than I did. And he's like, well, the first thing I'm going to do is figure out how it works because I might be able to preserve someone's life when nothing else works.
Stick a pin in that.
Whoop. He's like, volunteers could even donate life energy the way people used to donate blood before the synthetics were perfected. And she's like, oh, he's a dreamer. Nothing wrong with that. Just try to make sure he doesn't wake up before I get back. And Dr. Franklin's like, back? Where are you going? And she's like, well, against my own better judgment, against my own desires, I have a second lease on life. So I'm going to resume my quest around the universe for a magical healing technology that will make me famous. Because that's the only solution to my problems. And my cruiser leaves in half an hour. But I'm leaving my daughter, who I dragged all the way out here to Babylon 5, here. You're welcome. I spent all of our money on my plane ticket. So she's trapped here. Anyway, unless she marries a really wealthy doctor. Because she's like, I would ask you to look after my daughter, but my instincts tell me that won't be a problem. That's terrible instincts then, actually. It's not. They're not great instincts.
Right. Your daughter's going to disappear.
Yeah, he's not. He's going to take care of your daughter, but not in the way you think. And she's like, goodbye, doctor. Goodbye, Laura. He says, I hope you find what you're looking for. And she's like, thank you. And this is when the daughter is like, is the dinner invitation still open? And he's like, yeah. 7, Zocalo? Not even fresh air. He doesn't even wine and dine her in fresh air before he drags her off to his quarters. And she's never seen or heard from again. Anyway, this was an interesting episode. I do believe we probably discussed just about everything it's possible to discuss as we went along. Also, our kids are circling like sharks because it's 10 o'clock. And they're ready to go to bed-ish. So they've banged on the door.
All
They've
their
banged on
devices
the
have
wall.
locked, so there's nothing keeping them busy.
So I think we'll just leave it here. Next episode is the last episode of the season. So we can discuss the season as a whole too, since it's actually considered one whole chapter, signs and portents. And we can add more in light of the whole rest of the season and how this kind of fits in and how the whole season sort of flowed or didn't flow. So you can look forward to that next time. So I guess we'll just leave it here. We live for the one.
We would die for the one.
Until next time, friends.
Bye.
Yes, it's true. Yes. Here, Lee, goddess of passion, a synthesis of male and female Centauri. Did you think these were just decorations?
I'm going to take a vow of silence concerning this entire conversation. Good day.